Window now, brought to you by
Jiffy Lube Multi-Care gets services on brakes, batteries, spark plugs, and more. That's a job for Jiffy. Visit JiffyLubeUtah.com for discount services and locations.
Oh, there it is. I thought I'd lost all the news I put down there. All right. Here we go. Britney Spears went to court yesterday, and she started talking, and she didn't stop. She told a Los Angeles judge that she has been drugged, compelled to work against her will, and prevented from removing her birth control device over the past 13 years. And she pleaded with the court to end her father's legal control of her life. I've been in denial. I've been in shock. I've been traumatized, Spears said. She's 39 years old now. She made a 23-minute emotional address to the court. It was by phone and broadcast in the courtroom. She said, "I just want my life back." It was the first time that the world had heard her actually address in detail her struggles with the conservatorship granted to her father, James P. Spears, back in 2008, when concerns about her mental health and potential substance abuse led him to petition the court for legal authority over his adult daughter. Spears called for the arrangement to end without having to be evaluated. "I shouldn't be in a conservatorship if I can work, and I can. The laws need to change. I truly believe this conservatorship is abusive. I don't think I can live a full life while living under that conservatorship." Her father, and I don't have the details right in front of me, apparently is, even though he's made millions of dollars off this conservatorship, there was something I saw about him living in an RV. It must be a really nice RV.
I was going to say, if
see that.
If he is, it's my choice.
Yeah.
I read her whole statement because I didn't want to just get the excerpts from the news. It sounds to me like she's not well, but she has a right to not be well,
yeah,
and spend her money how she wants. And she, if you read the whole thing, she's a little off her rocker, and I wouldn't be surprised if they deny her some of the things she's asking. But I also think it's her money, and if she wants to blow it all,
yep.
Oh well.
Yeah. Why should this is? Yeah, I just don't get this. I think that.
Well, I think she was. I think it originally came about because they were worried she was going to hurt herself. So then you should step in. But it's been 13 years, and I mean that whole part about them insisting she have an IUD put in and all of that.
The point was made yesterday is that I think that she would be treated differently if she was male.
Sure,
because we've seen male pop stars in situations similar to this, and that's the attitude is, well, it's their money. Or
I think unless she really is a danger to herself or others, let her be crazy and spend her money.
Just keep umbrellas out of her hands, and we'll be fine. So this is a horrific and developing story. A beachfront condo tower in Miami Beach has collapsed.
Wow.
And no one that I know of is saying why this might have happened yet. But Miami-Dade Fire Rescue conducting search and rescue operations. They said that more than 80 units were on scene with assistance from municipal fire departments. Authorities had no word yet on casualty. No, I did hear there was one known death. But this entire, about 100 units or something like that, in this complex collapsed. We're on the scene. It's still very active, said Sergeant Marion Cruz of the Surfside Police Department. What I can tell you is the building is 12 floors, and the entire backside of the building has collapsed. Police blocked nearby roads. The collapse sent out a huge cloud of debris through the neighborhood, they're presumably there were people asleep when this happened, and I'm thinking they will find more casualties as the morning goes on. The United States, of course, missed its. Joe Biden had hoped to have he said, we hope to have a 70% vaccination rate by July 4th. That's not going to happen. But Dr. Anthony Fauci, the government's top infectious disease expert, called this the highly contagious Delta variant of the coronavirus the greatest threat to the nation's effort in eliminating COVID-19. Delta, which was first detected in India, is unquestionably more transmissible than the other common coronavirus variants, Dr. Fauci said. It is associated with increased disease severity as reflected by hospital risk. So, but if you are vaccinated, it will protect you against the Delta variant. And if you do get, so the vaccine is very, very effective, but you still can perhaps get coronavirus. There's a slight chance that you might. Your symptoms will be less severe if you've been vaccinated.
The people that are in the hospital now are the unvaccinated,
Yeah,
almost exclusively.
At the University of Utah, and that's certainly the hospital there, they're saying that. If Utah were to reach 70% immunity against COVID-19, would that reduce the number of cases in the state? It would, by nearly 95%, apparently. New computer model from Epistemics found reaching that level would likely drop the number of cases in Utah by 94.7%, which is the fourth greatest decrease in the country. Only New York, Florida, and North Carolina would see a greater benefit from a higher vaccination rate. According to figures from the Mayo Clinic, 47.4% of eligible Utahns have held at least or have had at least one dose of COVID-19 vaccine. 30% are fully vaccinated. Only 8 other states have a lower vaccination level than we do. That includes Idaho and Wyoming.
Because of freedoms.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that if you don't have it by now, people that get it have gotten it. People that don't get it are not getting it.
Can
You
still
mean the
get
vaccine?
Oh, I thought you meant the coronavirus.
No.
There was that incident where a Murray police officer shot a man yesterday. Was it yesterday, the day before? The man shot by and killed by Murray police officers. Yes, it was on Tuesday. There's a little more information about it now. This man had an extensive history of domestic violence, and his mother feared for her life. Willie Salazar died of his wounds at the scene. An unnamed police officer was shot through the leg, according to the cops. The officer was treated and released, but apparently this guy, Mr. Salazar, was threatening his mother in such a way that the police thought he was going to kill his mother, and so they shot him. First person to be sentenced in the Capitol Hill riots. 49-year-old woman from Indiana. She will serve no jail time after reaching an agreement with the government and pleading guilty to a misdemeanor disorderly conduct charge. At an unusual hearing where she admitted guilt and was immediately sentenced by a judge, the woman, Anna Morgan Lloyd, expressed remorse for her role in the attack on January 6th. She apologized to the court, to her family, to the American people, saying it was wrong to have entered the Capitol. Though she said, I didn't hurt anybody, but I didn't break anything, and I was inside for just about 10 minutes, but what I did was wrong. I am ashamed to be a part of that savage display of violence. General Milley.
Oh, boy.
Joint Chiefs of Staff. He pushed back on accusations that the United States military is too woke. General Mark A. Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, pushed back forcefully to objections raised by Republican lawmakers about the teaching of critical race theory at service academies, the military college, essentially. He said, do you have
University,
it there?
which is where this is taught, is in university.
I got it right here.
Yeah. So here's what he said.
The issue of critical race theory, etc. I'll obviously have to get much smarter on whatever the theory is. But I do think it's important, actually, for those of us in uniform to be open-minded and be widely read. And the United States Military Academy is a university. And it is important that we train and we understand. And I want to understand white rage. And I'm white. And I want to understand it. So What is it that caused thousands of people to assault this building and try to overturn the Constitution of the United States of America? What caused that? I want to find that out. I want to maintain an open mind here, and I do want to analyze it. It's important that we understand that, because our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Guardians, they come from the American people. So it is important that the leaders, now and in the future, do understand it. I've read Mao Zedong. I've read Karl Marx. I've read Lenin. That doesn't make me a communist. So what is wrong with understanding, having some situational understanding about the country for which we are here to defend? And I personally find it offensive that we are accusing the United States military, our general officers, our commissioned, non-commissioned officers, of being, quote, woke or something else because we're studying some theories that are out there. That was started at Harvard Law School years ago, and it proposed that there were laws in the United States, antebellum laws prior to the Civil War, that led to a power differential with African Americans that were 3/4 of a human being when this country was formed. And then we had a Civil War and Emancipation Proclamation to change it. And we brought it up to the Civil Rights Act in 1964. It took another 100 years to change that. So look it, I do want to know. And I respect your service, and you and I are both Green Berets. But I want to know. And it matters to our military and the discipline and cohesion of this military.
So he was talking to a representative, I forget his name, who was a Green Beret and was a military, but also Matt Gaetz, of course.
Yes.
Matt Gaetz
Who was shaking
also,
his head during this, like, ah.
and then Matt Gaetz tweeted after that
Yeah.
that it's no wonder with people like General Milley in charge that we've lost so many wars.
And now keep in mind, what General Milley said was absolutely correct. And also keep in mind, if somebody besides General Milley, say for example, Ilhan Omar, or even the vice president, said the same thing, the right-wing rageosphere would just be going crazy today.
I want you to remember what General Milley said when we get to Boners Round 1, too, because there's somebody on the local level who's nominated for a boner candidate that is kind of related to this whole thing. So I guess that's the news, except to tell you that the slaughterhouse cows that escaped in California, in Pico Rivera, they're still on the loose in Pico Rivera. I say, go cows! Go! All right, that's it. Sports, weather, traffic?
Real Salt Lake lost its first game after drawing or winning the previous four. They lost to the Seattle Sounders, who are really, really good, 2-1. They play next. Let's see, the Houston Dynamo. That'll be Saturday's game. Salt Lake Bees, they are home now. They'll be playing a stand with Las Vegas. And not sure, I don't think we're going to get enough rain that they're not going to play today, but be aware of that. It's Thirsty Thursday. We know how you like Thirsty Thursday at the Bees. So there's your sports. The weather, like I said, it's raining, and we're hearing from friends of the program all over the Wasatch Front, at least seeing a little bit. I mean, it's not a gully washer. It's not one of those.
Okay. Thank you.
But it's more of a spotty sprinkles
There's
situation.
a gully outside my house that's being washed right now, Gina.
Bill's eyewitness weather.
With weather people like Gina, is it any surprise that we have more gully washers than... All right, sorry.
So yeah, spotty sprinkles, chance of thunderstorms throughout the day today. So isn't that nice for a change? And it's cooler. Actually, right now it's 81, and that's about as warm as it's going to get today. So, so that's nice for a change. Traffic, it looks like a semi's gone over the barrier on the ramp from southbound I-15 to westbound I-215. This is in North Salt Lake. So that's going to take a while to clear up for sure. Thank you to the friend of the program that sent that in. Crash northbound I-15 milepost 258. This is in Spanish Fork. It is off to the right shoulder. And what are you seeing? You can tell us about rain. You can tell us about traffic slowdowns like this friend of the program, 5th South, northbound I-15. Thank you for that. All of that can be sent in at 33986. For a limited time, get a professional AC or furnace tune-up for only $39 with Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Call 801-264-HALE.
All right. Radio from Hell TV is back, so go to x96.com/live, and you can watch. If you're there and it's not working, refresh. It should be working. Now would be a good time to call to play Beat Gina. Line up to Beat Gina, 877-602-9696. We've got prizes for you if you beat her at Lion King Trivia. Geek News now brought to you by.
It's a great time to be a geek in Utah. Dr. Volts and the Nerd Store have joined forces. Comics, collectibles, action figures, and so much more. The Nerd Store and Dr. Volts.
All right, thank you. Okay. I got 3 great trailers for you to watch today.
Okay.
And the first one, I wonder if Katie has seen this yet. There is a new trailer for the Candyman movie reboot that is available.
I missed this.
This is trailer number 2.
The story of Candyman. Local character, he walk around handing out candy to the neighborhood kids. One day, a couple of kids get razor blades in their candy. Police come around. That's when I saw the true face of fear.
Get on your knees. Hands, hands, hands.
They beat him, tortured him, killed him right there on the spot. A couple weeks later, more razor blades and more candy. He been innocent.
So he's real?
Candyman ain't a he. Candyman's the whole damn hive.
It's
That's Domingo, isn't it?
it is
Domingo
yeah.
Coleman?
Yeah, it is. He's in this, and Anthony McCoy is the character. Yahya Abdul Mateen II is playing the lead in this.
If we say his name 5 times while looking in the mirror, we could summon him.
Summon the Candyman.
Hell no.
Hell no.
It's it's funny. Nothing really startling happens in this trailer, but it's scary as hell. So yeah, go ahead and watch that today while you're not working at work.
I'm so excited.
It looks really, really good, and it's not a reboot. It's actually in this series of Candyman movies. August 25th is when that's coming out. So look for that. Then the next one that I want you to see is the latest trailer for James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie. We get to know a little bit more about Idris Elba's character and why he's in prison. Get this.
Robert Dubois. He's in prison for putting Superman in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet.
You're joining your Suicide Squad.
We'll see.
My court date is coming up, and Miss Waller said maybe you could help me out.
Everyone stand down.
Miss Waller, I don't stand down!
I wouldn't take such extreme measures if this mission went more important than you could possibly imagine. Are you in or out? Good. Let's meet your team.
And so then they proceed to meet the rest of the supervillains that have been brought together to face some sort of unseen threat. And it's Harley Quinn is there, and yeah, so there's the latest Suicide Squad trailer. It's going to be an interesting little movie. As James Gunn said, don't get attached to too many of the characters. The next one is, this What We Do in the Shadows movie and TV series. There's a spin-off, and apparently the spin-off has been in production for quite some time. We've not gotten it here in America until now. It will premiere July 11th on the CW. It's called Wellington Paranormal.
Welcome to the Wellington Police Paranormal Unit. Made to put it in layman's terms, we're kind of like Mulder and Scully. We've got sort of underlying sexual tension going on. I believe this is a UFO.
I believe it's a hubcap.
Maybe we could do something a little bit less scary. It's Wellington. It's scary. Right, everybody that wants to proceed to the afterlife, put up your ghost hands.
It looks really funny. Apparently there's like 3 seasons of this, and we haven't seen it. So it premieres on July 11th, and if you watch it hard enough, then perhaps we'll get more. Okay, finally this. It was, I remember, we went to, on May 5th, 2004, to Disneyland. Yeah, they flew us there. That's back when we used to do things. For the opening of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror.
Right.
Well, Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, she is staying in the Disney camp. She is going to produce The Tower of Terror. Is the movie. Now, this is not the first time that this project has been taken up. We all remember that it was made into a 1997 TV movie starring Steve Guttenberg.
No, we don't. Nobody remembers.
I love that movie.
Investigating the case of a 1930s hotel where people mysteriously disappeared. Kirsten Dunst played his niece. But she's going to produce. Don't know whether she's going to star in it or not. But I would just let her know that she's more than willing to use this this souvenir that we got when we went to the opening. And it's a hotel bell.
Yeah.
And when you hit it, it goes like this.
Hollywood Tower Hotel. May I help you? We'll be looking for you to drop in.
So if they need that for the movie, I'm more than happy to.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Hand that over to Scarlett Johansson, the producer of the Tower of Terror movie. Traffic, please, Gina.
Yeah, emergency traffic ramp from southbound I-15 to go westbound I-215 in North Salt Lake is closed because of a crashed semi that's sort of dangling there over the side.
Jeez.
That's probably going to be an issue for a while. And I'm seeing on the UDOT cameras that roads are wet in places, so something you haven't had to deal with for a while is remembering to slow down when the roads are wet. Give yourself some space between you and the car in front of you, and please turn your headlights on so we can see you. Crash northbound I-15, milepost 258. This is in Spanish Fork, off to the right shoulder there. And what are you seeing? If it's safe for you to text us, please do that, 33986. Don't miss the 123 sales event at Young Automotive Group. Get 1 year of gas from Maverick, 2.74% interest rate, and 3 months no payments on your vehicle purchase, June 24th through the 28th. Terms apply.
All right, we're going to play Beat Gina next. We got a full bank of phones, so we've got to pick our contestant off the air. Stand by for that. KXRK Provo. Oh, let's see, BigOTires.com.
The sizzling summer sale at Big O Tires is here, where you can buy 3, get 1 free on selected sets of Mesa, Aspen, and Nitto tires. That's pretty cool.
Now, when the roads are wet, you might be thinking, yeah, maybe it's time for some new tires. Go into Big O and check. They'll let you know if you're due for them or not. And also make sure your car's ready for that road trip you have planned. Stop by your locally owned and operated Big O for the free multi-point vehicle inspection they'll do before you hit the road.
Big O Tires, of course, is more than just tires. You can get alignments, oil changes, batteries, air conditioning checkups, and alignment is very important on your car. If your car isn't properly aligned, the tires wear funny, and you get decreased gas mileage. So Big O Tires, the team you trust, locally owned and operated, 42 locations, all up and down the Wasatch Front, and they're all just great. So go to BigOTires.com. Here's your list.
All right.
This is, you got the intro there? You want to do that? Or
Yeah. Let me just give me a second. It's
here. A list of 34 cereals that are no longer on the shelves.
It's Radio from Hell with another list, because people love a good list. X96.
Now, if you want to ask, it'll tell you the years that it was available. I'm not going to give that for everyone, and the manufacturer and a description of the taste. Okay, there's Vanilla Crunch.
Yes, I remember this.
You remember that?
That sounds good.
It was delicious.
So it was birthday cake flavored Captain Crunch balls, essentially. Pink Panther Flakes.
I remember those. It was also a good cereal. Good prizes in that one too.
Fruit Brute.
Yes, delicious. Actually, of the monster cereals, probably the best one.
Was it like Fruity Pebbles?
Fruit flavored cereal pieces with lime flavored marshmallows.
Yeah.
Moonstones.
I remember those.
That's from the Ralston Purina Company. Yeah.
As I recall, it was just a crunchy golden cereal, as I recall.
Let's see. Fruit flavored. No, it was fruit flavored. Oh. Space-shaped cereal of stars, half moons, and planets.
Okay, yeah.
Donkey Kong Crunch.
I remember that, yes.
Strawberry honeycomb. That's sort of That's you know what that is because I think they still have honeycombs.
Mm-hmm.
Pac-Man cereal.
Yes.
Smurf Berry Crunch.
Had that,
They
yes.
don't have Smurf Berry Crunch anymore?
Mr. T cereal. Remember that?
Delicious, yes.
I remember this one.
Golden-shaped letter T's.
Yeah. I think I have a box of this in my drawer at work. C-3POs.
Also delicious. Very good cereal. It was like, little eights put together that were golden and sweet.
Honey sweet oat wheat corn cereal. It said basically like Lucky Charms without the marshmallows.
Mm-hmm.
Ghostbusters cereal.
Yes.
Nerds cereal.
Too sweet for me.
Rainbow Bright cereal.
Did not have that one.
Mm-mm. Spider-Man cereal.
Had that, yes. Delicious.
Yummy Mummy.
Yummy Fruity Mummy, yes.
Smurf Magic Berries.
What made them magic?
I want to know what were the berries. What?
They're magic.
Morning Funnies. Ever heard of that one?
Don't know that one.
1988 to 1989. Didn't last very long. It was a fruit-flavored cereal shaped like goofy faces in a box covered with comics.
No.
Oh, yeah, the comics from the newspaper on the box. Oh, okay, yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts cereal.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cereal.
Yes.
Which they tasted like turtle. Batman cereal.
Remember Batman cereal? Yes, a golden
Breakfast
sweet
with Barbie.
Did not see that one.
That was a multigrain fruit-flavored cereal in shape of hearts, bows, cars, stars, and the letter B from 1989 into the early 90s. Bill and Ted's Excellent Cereal.
I never had that. I should have had that.
Tiny Toon Adventures cereal.
Vaguely remember that.
Cinnamon. And now, let's all band together and see if we can beat Gina, the game show that's so easy we should be ashamed of ourselves. Beat Gina, where even a toddler can match wits with Barberi and often come away with a prize. And now, here's the man who can take a sunrise and sprinkle it with dew, cover it with chocolate and a miracle or two, because he mixes it with love and makes the game show world taste good. Today, wearing clothes from Little Tippy's Togs for Tots and grown-ups in Salina, Utah, Carrie Jack Jackson.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you so much. All right. We tossed a coin off the air to pick our contestant, and I neglected to write down their name. Who's Shelley? Shelley is who is going to be playing today. Hello, Shelley. How are you?
Good morning. I'm
Shelley.
doing well.
Hi there.
Shelley.
Now, Shelley, we've got a wonderful prize for you if you beat Gina at Lion King Trivia.
Oh, do we?
Okay.
we're gonna give you a face mask, a Radio from Hell face mask, and a Radio from Hell tote bag.
Nice.
But if she beats you, what are you prepared to do?
I am going to make a donation to the Out of the Darkness fundraiser this weekend for postpartum depression.
Wonderful. Thank you
Okay.
for
All
that
right.
suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay, Shelley, that's what we'll do. So here we go. We will toss a coin to see who goes first. Heads or tails, Shelley? It does give you an advantage.
Tails.
All right, so coin toss app says heads. La Barberi goes first. I'm just showing you right there on the television to prove to you that I'm not fibbing. Now, what that means, Shelley, is that this first question is for Gina to answer exclusively on her own. If she gets it correct, she gets a point. If she gets it incorrect, you get a chance to answer it correctly and steal that point away, and we will go back and forth until somebody has 3 points. All right? Okay, here we go. Now, keep in mind, this is Lion King trivia based on the original Lion King, released on this day in 1994. Okay? All right. Gina.
Yes.
Which Shakespearean play inspired The Lion King? Was it A, Hamlet, B, Forbidden Planet, C, The Tempest, or D, King Louis?
Hamlet.
No, that's incorrect.
No, Hamlet is.
That would be incorrect. It's Hamlet, not
Oh,
Hamlet.
I see, Johnny. I'm sorry, but Hamlet.
Please, do we give her a point for that?
I did. We have
You
to.
pronounced it wrong.
Shelley's
See?
challenging.
There's a woman with a competitive spirit.
All right, Shelley. Here's your question. What are the names of the 3 hyenas? The 3 hyenas had names. What are they? Is it A, Tucker, Sean, and Alex, B, Bonsai, Ed, and Shenzi, C, Groucho, Harpo, and Chico, or D, War, Famine, and Plague?
Oh my gosh. B.
Bonsai, Ed, and Shenzi? That is correct.
You are right. That's 1-1. The game is tied. Gina controls the question.
Yes.
Gina, here's your
Yes.
question. What's the last phrase heard in the movie? The last phrase heard in the movie. Is it A, long live the king, B, to boldly go where no one has gone before, C, remember, or D, Pumbaa and Timon will return in Avengers Endgame?
I believe it's remember.
That is correct.
How did you remember that? It's 2-1. Now, Shelley, you control the question and have a chance to tie the game.
Shelley,
Okay.
what is the very first animal that we see in the movie? First animal to appear on screen. Is it A, an elephant, B, a duckbill platypus, C, a spoonbill platypus? They're different. Or D, a rhinoceros.
Oh. I wanted to be an elephant. I'm going with A.
Incorrect, Gina.
I mean, I'm with you, Shelley. I love elephants.
Well, that's no reason to pick the elephant.
Is it a rhinoceros?
Is that your answer?
Yes.
Okay, rhinoceros.
And Gina wins the game. Sorry, Shelley. I'm very sorry. Nothing for you.
May I?
Just
I just want to hurry and say something.
Yes.
I know she loves elephants because I lost this game before and I sent clay and she made an elephant out of it.
I did.
That's right.
It's
Wow.
still at my desk, Shelley. I made my elephant and it's at my
I'm
desk.
so happy.
Oh, I mean, I don't normally do this, but Shelley's a special case. Can we?
What?
Would you mind terribly
not
if
polite.
if I go ahead and give Shelley a prize.
It's not very polite, though, to say Shelley's a special case. Her parents told her that all the time. But...
Oh, they probably think so.
We'll go ahead and give you the Radio from Hell face mask and tote bag, Shelley.
All right, Shelley.
And I will make that donation for women suffering from postpartum depression.
Well, that's nice.
That's a real thing.
Thank you,
We're going to be talking with a representative from AFSP later in the show today. All right, Shelley, hang on the line. We'll get your information and get you that stuff. Traffic, please, Gina.
Yeah, a ramp from southbound I-15 to go westbound I-215 to North Salt Lake is closed because a semi not only crashed, but is kind of like dangling over the barrier there. Those tend to take a while to clear up, so I would avoid that area if you can. It's the only incident I'm seeing. Let me check our message stream, see if friends of the program have sent in anything. Yes, one of you says, train parked across 12th Street in Ogden. Traffic is backed up. Thank you for that. They sent that in via text at 33986. Big O Tires Sizzling Summer Sale is here now through June 26th. Buy 3, get 1 free on select Nitto, Mesa, and Aspen tires.
We've got Boners Round 1 coming up. Here are the candidates you will be considering this time. Boner candidate number 1. Did you get that thing I sent you? Boner candidate number 2. Really, this is not the way to apologize, Steve. And boner candidate number 3. We should only be teaching things that are wholesome and of good report.
Boners Round 1, Big Boy News, all of that coming up. Stand by. And, we got a full show today.
No kidding.
I'm noticing, looking at the schedule today. All right, let's see. Oh, I got to tell you about Manscaped. Here's the thing, Manscaped.com. I have the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer in my bathroom. And every day I just kind of, clean up all over.
Not sure I wanted to know that.
I'm sorry, I know. But this is a great deal that they've got going. It's time to bundle up with Manscaped, the Performance Package 4.0. Inside the package, you're going to find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the one I was telling you about. It's got a light on it and everything. It's really cool. The Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer. And this is one of the first of this style of trimmer that I actually like. Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, Crop Reviver Toner, Performance Boxer Briefs, and Travel Bag to put all of your goodies in. Now, here's what you got to do. You'll get 20% off and free shipping with the code X96 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code X96 at manscaped.com. Escape the shrubs and weeds this summer and shine with Manscaped.
Various
Mini Buns.
I remember those.
The Addams Family cereal.
That was actually a good cereal.
That's it. No, not according to this. It says spooky-shaped cereal with a memorable lack of flavor.
No, it had cinnamon in it, as I recall.
Lack of flavor.
I remember eating it. I thought it was delicious.
Well, that's. I mean, you may have liked it, and that's WWF Superstars.
Don't remember that one.
Vanilla-flavored star-shaped cereal. Jurassic Park Lost World Crunch.
Don't remember that one either.
Reptar Crunch. Whatever.
Reptar?
Reptar.
Reptar is the cartoon character from the Rugrats cartoon. Reptar was like their Godzilla, yes.
That was a Post cereal.
Mm-hmm.
Homer's Cinnamon Donut cereal.
I remember this. It was yummy.
Bart's Peanut Butter Chocolate Crunch.
Don't remember that one.
Monopoly cereal.
Don't remember that.
Who wants to eat
Fiber.
Monopoly cereal?
People who love the game Monopoly. Fiber Plus Berry Yogurt Crunch.
Ugh.
No.
Cupcake Pebbles.
Don't remember
And
that
Sesame Street C is for cereal.
C is for cereal. That's
remember
good
that one
enough for me.
There were so many left out there.
Well,
you had Vanilla Crunch at the beginning, which is a Captain Crunch related cereal. But there was Jean Lafitte's Cinnamon Crunch. That was a Captain Crunch cereal. Jean Lafitte being the pirate bad guy in the cartoons of Captain Crunch, and he got his own cereal. It was delicious.
Yeah, it says here that there are many others,
Oh,
but
yes.
some of them, they were just like limited releases for movies. You know, they didn't. A lot of these they intended them to go on, and then they didn't. Because why couldn't you have a Batman cereal even today? I mean, really.
Exactly. C-3POs were delicious too.
I bought a real cereal yesterday.
What?
Grape Nuts.
That's
Post Grape
Are you
Nuts.
going to eat that on the air? Because it's really noisy when you eat the grape nuts on the air.
I don't
Can
know.
Buy
Maybe
you a quieter cereal.
If I had not known that it bothered you so much, I wouldn't have done it. But
Yeah,
now,
softer cereal, oatmeal. How about oatmeal?
I'll eat some mush,
some cream of wheat,
some muesli,
some malto meal.
Yeah.
Chocolate flavor malto meal.
I don't intend on eating the grape nuts on the air because if you kind of suck in a little bit and one of them gets lodged in your throat, it's a disaster.
It'll do it.
We hope you'd enjoyed another list with Radio.
#21, and it is time for round one of your boners. Here we go. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide with your vote, these 3 candidates, which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it's not boner of the day yet, because we're going to do this again at 8:20 with 3 more candidates. Get a winner in that round as well. We'll take the winner of both rounds and put them against each other. You'll decide boner of the day at 9:20 this morning. That's when boner fight happens. Right now, you got to pick one of these 3 to send forward. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote, and one of you lucky random boner voters will receive
I can't buy it, gotta win it, Radio from Hell boner t-shirt.
Boner candidate number 1. Did you get that thing I sent you? A Tennessee woman is facing federal charges after United States Postal Service investigators say that she mailed packages containing human blood-stained feminine products and feces to her husband's former wife. The criminal complaint from the U.S. Postal Service filed against 37-year-old Della Marie Gibson Latham in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Tennessee accuses Ms. of violating Postal Service rules by mailing the biohazardous materials. She was voluntarily interviewed in April about this. She admitted that she had sent packages containing feces and other materials, blood-stained feminine materials, to her husband's ex-wife. She said that she did it because she wanted the kids to know the truth about the ex-wife, claiming that she was lazy, didn't work, and lived off the system.
Okay, how does mailing that stuff
Gibson told investigators that she, on the other hand, worked hard for everything she had. I think she's made some sort of weird leap in her mind. That these things would perhaps convince the kids. She's a registered nurse, by the way. The ex-wife is a registered. The woman who sent the stuff, registered nurse, and she admitted to causing damage to the other woman, but she said, here's what she said: "You are poor white trash, faking a fancy life."
Okay.
And I want the kids to know that you are broke and lazy and won't pay your bills.
How does what you did show?
Well, that's the universal symbol for all of those things.
Yeah.
Isn't it
a
obvious?
soiled feminine napkin.
Yeah.
You use that emoji and people know exactly. Yeah.
Oh, well, that emoji means, I like that.
Boner candidate number 1. Did you get that thing I sent you? Yeah, thank you. Boner candidate number 2. This is not the way to apologize, Steve. Now, I put this boner candidate in here because Steve Amell, who plays the Arrow, was removed from a flight after getting into a fight. This was an airline flight, getting into a fight with his wife. And he was apparently told several times, please stop yelling. And he didn't. He started yelling at his wife again. And finally, the airplane, the people, Delta Airlines, escorted him off the plane. And then that was the end of it. His wife went on to their destination in L.A. He then booked another flight. But here's his apology for all of this. My wife and I got into an argument Monday afternoon on a Delta flight from Austin to L.A. I was asked to lower my voice, and I did. Approximately 10 minutes later, I was asked to leave the flight.
Yeah, because they always throw people off the plane when you ask them once and they comply and there's no other problems. They always throw people off.
Yeah. Now listen to the rest of this, though. He says, and then I booked, so I immediately left. I was not forcibly removed, as the story says. I rebooked myself on a Southwest flight 2 hours later and traveled home without any further issue. I let my emotions get the better of me. End of story. Must be a slow news cycle.
I'm sure that's exactly how it happened, because people that work for airlines have nothing better to do than throw people off planes for complying with their requests. I'm sure that's how that happened.
I would just say this to Stephen Amell. You have failed this apology. If you watch the show, you know what I'm doing.
Not the way to apologize, Steve. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. We should only be teaching things that are wholesome and of good report.
All right. Boner candidate number 3 for round 1 coming up after this. Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by...
Are you searching for Pokemon? Locally owned Haster Games has the best selection of Pokemon, Dungeons & Dragons, Magic, and more. Shop online at HasterGames.com or visit the store. 6831 South State. Curbside service is available.
Well, as we said yesterday, Harrison Ford was injured while He injured his shoulder while forming a fight scene in Indiana Bones. And, oh, no, it's Indiana Jones, isn't it? According to Deadline, Ford suffered a shoulder injury while filming a fight scene in the fifth movie in the...
Why is he filming fight scenes?
Because somebody attacked me. What do you think? I didn't want to be there. I don't want to be here.
If there was ever a time, Harrison, to just pull out the gun and shoot the guy rather than fight him, now is the time.
But he, and again, he said, just film around me. That's exactly what they're doing. The parent, the studio says, well, we'll just have to shoot some footage around him. We'll have to shoot, and when he can come back, he'll come back. Nobody's saying exactly what the extent of his injury is. I think people will go to see this movie just to see.
Oh, they'll go.
How he's
it's
holding
an Indiana
up.
Jones movie.
Well, even I think. Listen. I stopped. I saw that Crystal Skull movie and swore I'd never go to another one. I'm never going to another one. But and Jennifer Aniston says she will absolutely not try online dating.
She doesn't have to. Why would she even? She's Jennifer Aniston.
She has been unable to find love elsewhere, Ms. Barberi.
Well, I think that says more about. Well,
you think she might be hard to maintain?
Yeah.
Absolutely no. I'm not going to just stick to. I'm going to just stick to the normal ways of dating. Other celebrities. And I will not try dating apps to find a new partner. Absolutely not. I'm old-fashioned, she says. So the condo building collapse in Miami Beach. Now, they say at least one person they know is dead from the condo collapse. This was the Chapman Towers South condo, completed in 1981. It had more than 100 units. It collapsed at around 2 a.m. A portion of the building facing the beach crumbled, leaving a heap of rubble. The ocean-facing portion was, and God, why did this happen? We don't know. Surfside Mayor Charles Burkett confirmed that 10 people were treated for injuries on the site. 2 were taken to the hospital. At least 1 person has died. Authorities anticipate there will be more fatalities. Just after 8 a.m., Frank Rogers, Miami-Dade emergency crew, said emergency workers believe that they've cleared all survivors from the tower, from inside the tower. So there were people inside who were not dead, who were alive, and there were more than 130 apartments in there. If you look at, do we have a picture of that online at our Radio from LTV? I don't know if we're showing that or not. He said more than 70 of the units had been completely destroyed or damaged.
Wow.
Everyone who is alive is out of the building, they said. So now it's a matter of finding, what else is in there, who else is in there who's not alive. And by him saying everyone who is alive has been removed from the building, that indicates he knows that there are people in there who are not alive.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at pictures of it, I mean, if this was a full building,
how could that possibly? You just wonder, how could that possibly happen?
It's scary as hell.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine, you're there on vacation or you live, I don't know, I think it says they're condos, so I think this is a residential
It could
building.
be residential, it could be people Airbnb them or rent them out, People own them and rent them.
It's just, man, horrible. Let's see. Utah is not out of the woods yet when it comes to coronavirus. The Utah Department of Health reported 527 new cases of COVID-19 yesterday. Part of that was because of delayed reporting, they said. But according to the Department of Health, an issue with a server resulted in a delayed reporting of coronavirus. It is now believed that fewer than 40 cases were delayed, so that's still a pretty high number.
There are only 4 states worse than us at vaccine percentages.
A statement from the Department of Health says this should serve as a reminder that we are not out of the woods. It remains critical for Utahns to get vaccinated, limit your contact with others who are not part of your usual circle. Wear a mask when you can't physically distance, and stay home if you're sick, and wash your hands often. The positivity rates were higher than the 7-day average, and that's not good either. Wildfires in Utah. They've made some good progress on some of them. Banyan Creek Fire, 80% contained. The Carbon County Bear Fire, 93% contained. Washington County, they've got that flat fire pretty well in hand. Let's see, I'm trying to see, now it's the Morgan Canyon Fire, but in Tooele County, so I don't...
Oh, that's a little confusing.
Yeah, the Morgan Canyon Fire in Tooele County, 0% contained.
Is that the one that was started by the plane crash?
No, because that one was actually up in Morgan, I think. That does get confusing, though. Let's see, the Sago Fire, no containment. That's in Grand County. Pack Creek Fire near Moab. They're starting to get a handle on that. But this is just the beginning. Just the beginning of the fire season. Chad Daybell's trial set to begin November 8th. He has been accused of killing 3 people, including Tylee Ryan and Joshua Vallow, his stepkids. During a virtual conference meeting, Judge Stephen Boyce agreed to schedule Daybell's jury trial to begin November 8th. The trial is expected to last a little over a month. 5 weeks. Daybell has pleaded not guilty to the multiple charges. A worker used a master key to enter a woman's motel room here in Salt Lake, and then he assaulted her. At the Salt Lake City Motel, it was the, trying to remember if I've ever stayed here, the All-Star Travel Motel.
That sounds like your kind of place.
Yeah, I love those kind of places. But the man was charged with 1 count of felony rape and 2 counts of forcible sexual abuse at the All-Star Travel Inn. Yeah, there's that. And Lego. They say that they are looking at ways to use plastic bottles to recycle and start making Lego blocks out of recycled.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
What took them so long?
Well, I see what I thought they were going to say is, here's how we're going to recycle all these Legos, because there are lots of them in landfills as well. But yeah, they're working on a system that they will be able to take recycled drink bottles and make Lego bricks and blocks with recycled material.
It's about time.
Yeah. And then finally, this story: a Harvard professor says, that he believes that alien spacecraft have in fact dropped sensors onto the Earth, and they are monitoring us.
Okay.
Hello!
Carrie's talking to them.
Nice
right
to
now.
meet you!
Can you hear me? Hello? Aliens! Yeah. So, no, he really believes that
They're not
weird...
deaf, Carrie. You don't have to yell.
Oh,
They
I'm
just
sorry.
don't speak English.
I wanted to be heard above everything else. So.
Aliens, is this thing on? That Oumuamua weird asteroid that came by the Earth that was sort of cigar-shaped. He thinks that was actually an alien spacecraft, and that they dropped sensors, and now they're monitoring.
Well, why do they come down here and fix everything then, if that's the case?
Well, you're assuming that they have maybe they're not coming down here because we're not going there. They got coronavirus down there. We're not doing that. We're not stupid.
You do not establish first contact until that species is a tame warp drive. That's all there is to it.
Because they remember when there was the War of the Worlds and the Martians came here and the germs killed all the Martians. So that's why they're not coming here.
Weather, traffic.
Oh, the rain. It's kind of everywhere, which is kind of nice. It's spotty sprinkles. No one's getting poured upon. But it's sure nice for a change, and it's cooled off. Only 85 for a high today. Those scattered showers and thunderstorms will continue throughout the day into tonight. And it's a lovely change Traffic, we have that closure ramp southbound I-15 to go westbound I-215 in North Salt Lake. Semi went over the barrier there. Stalled vehicle westbound SR201 at 9th West off-ramp in Salt Lake. The northbound 9th West lane is blocked. Traffic is having to use the shoulder to get by there. And just a reminder with the wet roads to give yourself a little space between you and the car in front of you, and make sure you've got your headlights on. People forget about that. Oh, another friend of the program says South Gate of Hill Air Force Base getting backed up with traffic. Thank you very much. They sent that in via text at 3398. Big O Tires sizzling summer sale is here now through June 26th. Buy 3, get 1 free on select Nitto, Mesa, and Aspen tires.
Here's boner candidate number 3. We should only be teaching things that are wholesome and of good report. The fight that lawmakers recently, here in Utah, that lawmakers recently waged over critical race theory has mostly gone into hibernation until the Utah legislature meets in 2022. But come January, the controversy may erupt again as lawmakers target how race and history are taught, not just to Utah's school-age children, but also in higher education. Legislative Republicans seem mostly satisfied with steps taken by the Utah Board of Education to address concerns about curriculum and training materials for teachers, which is why they've called a ceasefire. But Representative Steve Christiansen, Republican of West Jordan, says he plans to introduce legislation on the topic come January. His bill won't mention the words critical race theory. Instead, he wants to block the teaching of certain divisive concepts in the classroom. This is dangerous.
Yeah, this guy scares me.
I would call it more than just divisive, he said. They are quite frankly illegal. Christiansen points to a legal decision issued by Montana Republican Attorney General Austin Knudsen in May, so it really has the force of law behind it. It bans critical race theory and anti-racism programs in the state's classrooms and in training materials for public employees. The decision was decried by the American Civil Liberties Union of Montana and the Montana Federation of Public Employees, which represents government workers and teachers. The opinion carries the force law in Montana, meaning violators could lose state funding or be liable for damage. Christiansen says, illegal topics would include saying one race or sex is inherently better than another, or teaching that characterizes the United States as inherently racist. He points to a book by somebody named Ibram X. Kendi, whose recent book, How to Be an Anti-Racist, suggests that discrimination that results in an equitable outcome, is acceptable. The Utah Board of Education says it has not received any complaints about Kendi's book. But he wants to make sure that we're teaching things that aren't divisive.
Has he ever been to school?
Exactly. I mean, how are you going to teach about the Constitution at all? 3/4. How are you?
I don't get it.
He's insane. Look, it doesn't make you, history should make you feel bad, but it's not designed to make you feel guilty. It's hoping that you will have empathy. That's it. There's a difference between that. Have some empathy.
And it's showing, here's what happened.
The concept of empathy is divisive, Carrie.
Some things were good, and some things were bad. And hopefully we learn from the bad things, and we are doing things in a different way. It just is. This is what happened. It's not about picking and choosing, about telling people what happened.
And we're not blaming you because we want you to feel some empathy. That's all.
I just want to make sure that we're only teaching things that are wholesome and of good report. Right. Boner candidate number 3.
Let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1. Hey, did you get that thing I sent you? A Tennessee woman facing federal charges for mailing blood and feces to her husband's ex-wife. Boner candidate number 2, this is not the way to apologize, Steve. Arrow star Steve Amell, removed from a flight after an altercation with his wife. He said, "It was nothing, and I wasn't forcibly removed from the flight." And Boner candidate number 3, we should only be teaching things that are wholesome and of good report.
All right, here you go. 3/5 of a person. Sorry, I got the number wrong. Anyway, here we go. It's time to vote for round 1 of your boners. 1, 2, or 3, you've got to decide of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one should go forward to Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day. This is round 1. Round 2 happens at 8:20. We'll do this again, get 3 more candidates, another winner there, and then we'll take both of our winners and put them against each other for Boner Fight at 9:20. That's when you'll decide Boner of the Day. Right now, pick a champion from this round 1 to send forward. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986, all right? Or call 877-602-9696. They'll take your voice vote in the producer's booth in Salt Lake. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Voting June 24, 2021, and vote there. You have until the end of these messages. Let's go. This is round 1.
You know what they love more than a list?
What's that?
A dueling list.
What do you mean a dueling list?
Well,
I was just gonna do here these 5 health food buzzwords that are misleading.
Misleading buzzwords?
Well, I have 7 reasons why hotel sex can be very exciting.
Oh, dueling lists.
It's Radio from Hell with another list.
All right.
Because people love a good list. X96.
All right.
If you think your list is so tough, Gina, you go first.
Number 1, reasons why hotel sex can be very exciting.
All right.
Number 1, breaks the monotony. Nothing damages sex life more than monotony, and experts suggest trying something new whenever people feel their sex life lacks luster. Having sex in a hotel room can help couples overcome their boredom of a regular sex life.
Oh, yeah? Number 1, health food buzzword that's misleading.
Okay.
Lightly sweetened. Light is not an industry-regulated term, so any amount of sugar can be deemed light. One place you can spot this term is on cereal boxes. Lightly sweetened indeed. Lightly sweetened cereal with blueberries, 13 grams of sugar. It's a lie and it's misleading.
Gina?
Open to trying new things. Reasons why hotel sex can be very exciting. When people have sex repeatedly in the same place like their bedroom, they get used to doing things a certain way. But a new place encourages couples to try new things. Having sex in a hotel room can inspire couples to be adventurous, try new positions, it can make it very exciting.
Oh, yeah? Number 2 health food buzzwords that's misleading. Uncured meat. Cured meats, like bacon and sausage, they've long had a bad rep for containing nitrites, a food preservative that's been linked to cancer. So logic follows that meats labeled uncured wouldn't carry that risk. Well, you're wrong. According to a 2015 Ohio State University study, such labeling, the study concluded, is unconfusing and technically incorrect. That's number 2, uncured meat.
Number 3, reasons why hotel sex is exciting. Free from responsibilities. You don't have to do laundry. There's no dishes to do. The kids aren't there.
Somebody's got to do that. Somebody's got to do that laundry, though.
That's nothing.
Free from responsibility.
Number 3, made with real fruit. That label makes me laugh. It's a sure sign that there's little or no fruit in it at all. And whatever fruit there is processed beyond recognition. To avoid being duped, look at the food's ingredients. They're listed in order by greatest amount to least. Where does real fruit appear in the list? It isn't near the top of the list. That's all I'm saying. That's number 3.
Forbidden can be exciting. According to experts, sometimes a little amount of guilty feeling can make the experience of having sex very exciting. And if you feel guilt having sex in a place outside of the 4 walls of your bedroom, like a hotel room, it can be a very exciting experience.
You know what?
What?
Number 4 on this list. All
Okay, it's 7:50 right now. Time to award round 1 of your boners.
And round 1 of the boner voting is made or is brought to you in part by an Impossible Burger.
And find your match at Strong Volkswagen, where the down payment matches the monthly payment, plus all new 2021 SUVs have 0% financing. Visit strongvw.com for details.
I bought some Impossible Burgers and grilled them myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time I think it's maybe the first time I've had them. And, you put enough
They're
stuff
not meat,
on them.
are they?
You put it, well, you don't know because you put a lot of stuff on them. You put cheese and tomatoes and onions and lettuce and all of that. So we had boner candidate number 1. Did you get that thing I sent you? Pretty strong boner candidate, really, when you think about it. A Tennessee woman mailing blood and feces to her husband's ex-wife to prove some kind of point or another. Boner candidate number 2, not the way to apologize, Steve. That was the throwaway candidate, and only one person voted for that. But boner candidate number 3 came through strong, loud and clear. We should only be teaching things that are wholesome and of good report. The legislature, Representative Steve Christiansen, we want to make sure that our colleges are teaching subjects that aren't divisive. What? College is a place where you're supposed to argue.
And learn and be introduced to new ideas.
He wants them to teach the myth of American exceptionalism. All right. There's your winner of round 1. It goes forward now to Boner Fight. Might be Boner of the Day. Round 2 coming up at 8:20. We'll do it again. We'll get a winner there. Then at 9:20, you'll decide Boner of the Day with Boner Fight. Let's get the mayor on the phone.
Yeah, this is Mayor Hall of Salt Lake City, a person who demonstrates that there is such a thing as American exceptionalism. The fine mayor of Salt Lake City, Aaron Mendenhall. So you're gonna be a killjoy and not let us have fireworks this year, huh?
It's my diabolical plan at all times to just figure out how to make think holidays more sad.
Yeah. So sometimes being the mayor, you have to just state the obvious, don't you?
Well, I'd like to state that Gina has a lovely Salt Lake City flag bedspread happening in her background.
I'm glad you noticed that, Mayor Mendenhall. I wanted it to be displayed properly, and I can't really hang it in here, so that's the best I could do. So
It looks very nice.
I love it. Thank you.
So fireworks, I mean, we can joke around about it, but it's just not, we should not be lighting fireworks anywhere this year, I would assume. And what was your statement on it that you made, Mayor Mendenhall?
Well, besides the fact that we're banning them, I made the statement that the city is quite combustible, the whole place.
Yeah.
And I think even after this little bit of rain we're getting this morning, because we've had such incredible record-breaking heat numerous times throughout the month of June, and it's predicted to continue, we're not going to be in a better position. So, but, front yards, backyards, park strips are becoming dry, and we appreciate that residents are conserving water. Land around businesses. It's not just our foothill corridor and our west parts of the city that have some fields that are combustible. It's really everywhere, and that's what the fire marshals determined.
I mean, does that mean that, theoretically, that a fire could start in the city and it would burn Salt Lake down?
Well, we've seen that happen in other parts of the west, Medford, Oregon, and many parts of California. A lot of Arizona is on fire right now, but these urban fires, these are the conditions that our fire marshal is seeing throughout the city. Conditions where there's a chance of a really devastating fire that could level parts of our city, if not more than that. So we don't want to come anywhere near that. It's really not worth it. So seeing some Woody Guthrie and eat some more Impossible burgers and have a hot dog.
Yeah.
But I think
it's not time for fireworks.
I think that's an important point, though. This isn't just Mayor Mendenhall unilaterally saying, we're not going to do fireworks. The fire marshal has come to this conclusion as well, correct?
That's right. And so the state statute does allow for the local legislative bodies, which are city councils, to determine that there are ways out that basically say this place could go up in flames. And in Salt Lake City, as in Park City and probably other cities in the state, our city council has depoliticized that allowance to say we give this authority to the fire marshal, who really has the expertise to make those kind of determinations. We're not going to make that decision ourselves. And so that's why in Salt Lake City our fire marshal did it, but in other cities the city councils could make those decisions.
Yeah. Whenever, especially this time of the year, July 4th and 24th, whenever I hear, if I'm not home and I hear fire engines and sirens, I'm sure they're going to my house. I'm just positive that they're going to my house. And one time it turned out to be true.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was. Now, it was not my house direct, but there was a vacant field across from the house I lived in at the time. And that whole field was on fire because of fireworks. So
even sparklers and smoke bombs are part of the prohibition. They're all part of the novelty fireworks, and they may seem innocent, but literally it's a spark that can set a neighborhood ablaze.
Yeah, just none of it. None of it. I don't want to hear fireworks going off. I don't.
You're going
Firecrackers.
to. They will happen.
Jeez. And you hear the bottle rockets going, and then you hear it land on your roof. That's happened to me on many occasions, and I just think, oh, God.
Because you're a resident, anybody who's in Salt Lake City can call our non-emergency dispatch line, which is 801-799-3000. If you hear fireworks going off nearby, near enough that you feel like you can report where they're coming from. Our fire department wants to know, police department wants to know, and you can call that number.
All right. So, what is it again?
Yeah.
799-3000 is the non-emergency dispatch number.
799-3000. All right. Mayor Mendenhall.
If your field's on fire across the street, please call 911.
Oh, man. Yeah. I helped the firefighters put it out. I got a hose from my yard. All right. Thank you very much. Have a safe and sane 4th of July. We'll talk to you when we get back from vacation.
Yes.
You too. Always a pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Traffic, please, Gina.
It's still an issue, that ramp from southbound I-15 to go westbound 215 in North Salt Lake due to that semi that was teetering on the barrier. I'm looking at the UDOT cameras, and it is still very slow through there. That's mostly the only issue we're seeing. Few people reporting roads are wet, and just a good reminder to give yourself some space between you and the car in front of you, and turn your headlights on, won't you please? Big O Tires Sizzling Summer Sale is here now through June 26th. Buy 3, get 1 free on select Nitto, Mesa, and Aspen tires.
All right, so we have Sean Means reviewing movies coming up after these messages, and round 2 of your boners also on the way. Stand by for that. 3, 2, 1. Brooklinen.com. You know, there's nothing in this hot weather. There's nothing more wonderful than slipping in between those nice cool sheets from Brooklinen and the pillowcases as well. Now, I told you a tip from me is to put your pillowcases in the fridge and then put them on your... It's nice and cool. You'll thank me for it. They are so confident, Brooklinen, in their core products that they come with a 365-day warranty. And they've received over 75,000 five-star reviews and counting, including my endorsements here on the radio. I love my Brooklinen products. Buttery soft is how I like to describe them. Buttery soft, breathable sheets, plush absorbent towels, cozy bathrobes, very comfy loungewear. Give yourself the comfort refresh that you deserve and get it for less at Brooklinen. Go to brooklinen.com, use the promo code X96 and get $20 off with a minimum purchase of $100. That's BROOKLINEN.com. Enter the promo code X96 for $20 off with a minimum purchase of $100. Brooklinen.com, and the promo code is X96.
Number 4 on this list, all natural. Just like lightly sweetened, the word natural is an unregulated term, which is why so many companies have overused it. By one company's definition, chocolate hazelnut spread earned the natural label because it was made with real nuts and chocolate, even though it's essentially a jar full of sugar.
What number are we?
This is number 5, and I only have 5, so that's as far as you can go.
So that's it?
Oh, one more. Give me a knockout punch, because I don't think you're winning so far.
Okay. Sex is more enjoyable when you're relaxed.
Oh.
You can order food to the room.
Well, yeah.
You don't have to leave. It
And
has
then
everything you want.
You can order
there.
food to the room and then have sex with it.
Oh, yeah?
You can't do that at home.
Oh, yeah?
Sex in a hotel
Oh,
is very exciting.
It's a 3 sandwich day.
No help. No help, Carrie.
Sorry.
This is our fight. And mine, here's the knockout punch.
Okay.
5 health food buzzwords that are misleading. Gluten-free. I'm amused by gluten-free on products. Never had any wheat in them to begin with. And that's where gluten comes from.
Oh.
Gluten-free.
Excellence
things that don't
Coheed
have
and
gluten.
Cambria and the Used at the Complex Outdoors on August 30th. Text Coheed, that's COHEED, to 33986 now to win tickets. You can get all the details and ticket links at x96.com.
Okay, thank you.
Well, here he is, Sean Means. He's come to review movies for you. There are not very many on the list today, but it looks interesting. Sean is, of course, a film critic and writer for the Salt Lake Tribune. You can read his writings at sltrib.com and, of course, at moviecricket.net. Good morning, Sean. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good.
Before you start, let me do one quick thing here. Yesterday, I made a mistake, and I said the Salt Lake Film Society, and I said .com. slfs.com. It's not. If you want to get tickets to the movie Salt Lake Film Society's Motor Backlot Cinema, it's slfs.org, and tomorrow night it's Easy Rider, and then Saturday it's Hedwig and the Angry Inch, and that's those are the last 2 films in the series. So slfs.org. All right.
Now, this first movie, Sean, I'm happy that it's opening here. I read about it earlier in the week, and I was wondering if it was going to open here, and I'm glad to see this. Werewolves Within.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let me get to that, but we have to talk about this is a big weekend because the studios and the theaters have kind of decided that now summer is really starting.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody can get into theaters, and I wrote about that for the Tribune, so it's an sltrib.com about why the summer movie season started. Even Broovies is coming back this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yep, finally. So Werewolves Within. This is I didn't know this based on a video game, but don't let that get in your way here. It's a video game that my 2 video games those kids had never heard of. So don't worry about that.
Okay.
This is actually a pretty smart horror comedy. You've got a new ranger arriving in a small town in Vermont, and there's lots of oddball characters in this town, and one of them might be a werewolf. We don't know.
Okay.
Might be. So when a snowstorm hits town and shuts down the power and closes the main road, it's the ranger, who is this nice guy who quotes Mr. Rogers. He's played by Sam Richardson, who you would recognize from Veep. He was the dumb campaign aide who wound up being governor by the end of the series.
Yeah, funny.
So he has to figure out what's going on, and it's sort of a combination of John Carpenter's The Thing and that game Among Us, where you have to figure out who's suspect. There's a really good ensemble cast here. You've got Katherine Curtin from Stranger Things and Michaela Watkins, who used to be on Saturday Night Live. There's a really sharp ensemble. My favorite in here, though, is Milana Vayntrub. She's really funny. She's really sharp. You would know her as Lily from the AT&T commercials. She is. This is the star turn movie that she deserves, and I think she does really well here. playing in a lot of theaters around town. Werewolves Within, and I gave it 3 stars.
Yeah,
3 stars.
No, I'm hearing very good things about this movie. So.
Yeah, it's kind of a slow burn. I mean, it takes a little while for the sort of satire and the comedy to really kick in, but once it does, it's really cool.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, let's get to the one that everyone's going to go see this weekend.
Yep. F9.
The one where they go to space.
Katie's happy.
No, spoilers. This is the 9th movie in the Fast and the Furious franchise, and I think they call it F9 because that's the key on your keyboard that throws everything up on the screen at once.
Oh yeah.
And that's what this movie did. This is how these movies work. You know, there's a ton of cars, a lot of explosions, stunts that defy common sense and the laws of physics. The big stunt, the big gimmick this time around is somehow they get a hold of a giant electromagnet, and and of course it's on a truck, so they can move it, and there's a dial, like they have a dial that they can go, turn it on or turn it off, or and so things fly around even more than they usually do in one of these movies. The plot. I mean, yes, there's a plot. Not that it matters much. Dom Toretto, Vin Diesel, he's being challenged by his younger brother, who we didn't even know he had a younger brother, played by John Cena. And there's bad blood from something that happened with their father 30 years ago, and we get flashbacks of that. I think it's rather amazing that they found 2 actors to play the young versions of Vin Diesel and John Cena, who look exactly like what a computer-generated, de-aged performance of those 2 looks like.
You keep saying there's no plot here. It sounds like it's pretty intricate.
Yeah. So,
I still don't hear a story.
I mean, John Cena, no plot to get in the way of the story, as Billy Bob Briggs used to say. Jacob's now a super spy, and he's working with Cypher. You remember her, Charlize Theron from the last movie, to find some doohickey that's going to destroy the world or whatever.
Is that what they call it, a doohickey? We got to find this doohickey.
There is a name for it, but none of that. It's easy to get lost in the details, not because they're that complicated, but because they matter. But this one's directed by Justin Lin, who did 3, 4, 5, and 6. He did Tokyo Drift, and then he did the 3 more after that. So he's experienced in this franchise. He really knows how to have fun with it. He knows how silly they're supposed to be. And so it kind of works in that way. I mean, if you're not expecting, you're not expecting Shakespeare here, right?
Right.
It's kind of the perfect movie for the moment, for when we're starting to go back into movie theaters, where we just want to, enjoy the air conditioning and the popcorn and have something big and loud and fun to look at. F9 is sort of like the movie to do that. So it's playing everywhere. I mean, even just if you know where there's a theater, go there. They'll be playing F9.
You can't avoid
it. Even Broovies has got it, and they're back for it. And so, three stars for the
3 stars.
I want to thank the Fast and Furious franchise for keeping Michelle Rodriguez employed. That's what.
Yes.
I think that's the only place she works.
Keeps her off the streets. Yes.
I like her. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, 3 stars for F9.
9 of them.
And people are predicting that F10 will be. They find a time machine and bring back the Avengers. It'll be a huge, or
crossover.
Or they'll go back in the past with dinosaurs. Maybe that would be a combination that would just make Katie very happy.
Do they really go to space?
Well, the important thing here is that they bring people back from the dead, because they brought, and this is in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything, but they brought back Han, who got killed off in both Tokyo Drift and Number 6. He got killed off. They showed his death twice.
Do they justify that in some way?
Well, I mean, there is dialogue written to explain what happened. If you want to call that justified.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
Sean means everybody. Okay. And I would ask Gina for traffic, but she's not there. So
no. Well,
all right.
She's got things to attend to.
Yeah. Round 2 of your boners coming up.
Yeah, I got those. Here we go. Boner candidate number 1. Geez, thanks for the lift. Boner candidate number 2. Keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times. And boner candidate number 3, stop being mean to me. I'm the president.
All right. Boners round 2 coming up. Gina, do you have traffic?
Yeah, just that issue still southbound I-15, westbound I-215 in North Salt Lake. It is still backed up there. I just refreshed the UDOT website. And it looks like it's a little bit better, but I still see red for a portion of that area. So be aware of that. And be aware that the roads are wet. So give yourself some space between you and the car in front of you and make sure your lights are turned on. Injured in an accident, everyone deserves an advocate. Call 801-355-5550 or go to utahadvocates.com.
All right, so we will take a break. We'll be back with round 2 of your boners and big boy news all coming up. BigOTires.com.
Yeah,
We'll find a location near you.
No kidding. There are lots of them. 42 of them. 42 locations of Big O Tire, locally owned and operated. So that means that you pretty much have the same people working at them all the time. You can get to know them. They become kind of your neighborhood store to go to for tires and other things with your car.
They've got that sizzling summer sale going on right now. Buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of Mesa, Aspen, and Nitto tires. And you've got a road trip coming up, I bet. We all do for the summer. You want to get it checked out before you go by your locally owned and operated Big O for their free multi-point vehicle inspection.
And Big O Tires, they know that these can be unexpected expenses sometimes, having to get new tires all of a sudden. That's why Big O Tires offers pay-nothing-today financing. Remember, Big O Tires, they are the team you trust. Go to BigOTires.com and find a store near you.
It's best question of the week. You should take advantage of this. You just email us a question, radiofromhell@x96.com, about anything. It doesn't matter, and we'll answer it. Like this question we received today that Katie will read to us right now.
That's right. So this one comes from Brian. It says, recently I've watched Jurassic World, and I thought how fun it would be to have a dinosaur as a pet. Hey, me too. I've always thought this. Got me thinking, what would you have if you could have a choice of any real or fictional creature reduced down to household size as a pet? What would it be and why?
I don't know. You know, I think it'd be really fun to have an elephant as a pet. But
a miniature elephant?
Well, yeah, but if you reduced an elephant in size to the size of a household dog or a cat or something,
yeah,
is it still an elephant?
Sure. Who says your house can't be a mansion and therefore it's normal size of an elephant?
I mean, because that's what I'd want is a normal sized. If I don't have to reduce it down, I'd like a normal sized elephant as a pet.
I don't think I'd want a full sized elephant as a pet.
That's
hard to clean up after. But.
Yeah,
well,
you're
you got
doing a lot
to
of-
feed it.
Doing a lot of shoveling there.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just like elephants, and I also always wanted to have like a pet crow.
Really?
One of my favorite DJs actually has a pet crow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a guy once who had a pet crow.
Aren't they
and,
smarter than you?
They're very smart.
They are damn smart. They really. There's, as a matter of fact, there's a news article there somewhere. About
You have to
that
earn
today.
their trust, actually, your pet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're very smart. And this
The dog from
Oh,
the
Heavenly.
movie Oh Heavenly.
Oh,
Dog.
Me.
.21 right now, and it is time for round 2 of your boner. 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. Winning here does not make it boner of the day. It'll have to defeat the winner of round 1's voting, which we did an hour ago. But we'll take the winner of each round, put them against each other. At 9:20 this morning is when boner fight happens. That's when you'll decide boner of the day with your vote. Right now, you got to pick your champion from this. Round 2, send one of these forward. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote, and one of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
How about a tote bag? We got a lot of those Radio from Hell tote bags around. Let's give one away.
All right. Here's boner candidate number 1. Geez, thanks for the lift. A woman stabbed a man who gave her a ride in his car. He drove to the Roy police station, where the woman was taken into custody. The 25-year-old woman has been charged in 2nd District Court with aggravated assault, is being held without bail in Weber County Jail. The arresting officer said he was standing in front of the Roy police station on Tuesday when a car drove into the parking lot at a high rate of speed. In a probable cause statement, the officer wrote that he could see and hear the male driver and the female passenger arguing loudly, and that as he approached the car, the woman was grabbing and pulling at the man. As the man tried to back out of the car, the woman was holding on to him, and he struggled to get away when the man broke free and screamed that the woman had stabbed him. Jeez. According to the officer, there was blood running down the victim's right arm. He was taken to the hospital, treated for wounds. He was stabbed in the right arm. The knife went right through his arm and into his armpit and penetrated his right chest. Not a life-threatening wound, but certainly not pleasant. Ugh, makes me... And so he told the police that the woman was homeless, and he offered to give her a lift to a homeless shelter. And so I don't.
Well, he was doing a nice thing.
And then he said the ride, she just attacked him unprovoked. Geez, thanks for the lift. Boner candidate number 1. It's a way to thank a person, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Here's boner candidate number 2. Keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times. A guest at Walt Disney World filmed hopping in and out, off and on, an attraction over the weekend. The incident took place on the Living with the Land attraction at Epcot, which is described as a gentle boat tour.
Perfect for hopping on and off.
Of Disney World's experimental greenhouses and agricultural areas.
So,
in the
so
footage,
the boring area.
Yeah, that's the boring show when everything else is too crowded. In the footage, which was initially posted to TikTok, a woman can be seen jumping off the boat, reaching for something in one of the vines, and then stumbling, falling as she attempts to return to the boat. Guests are not permitted. They're not permitted to do that.
Remain seated, please.
Yeah. The video was removed from TikTok earlier this week, along with the user's entire account. However, it has since been shared with Walt Disney World News Today, so you know they're going to get them. And apparently, the woman got off the boat a few times, and at this one juncture, got off the boat and picked a cucumber off of a vine.
Jesus.
And then got back on. Somebody said, I had the luxury of sitting behind these morons. They jumped on and off the boat 4 different times during the ride. And, that kind of ruins it for everybody. Doesn't it?
Yep.
Really? Boner candidate number 2. Keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Exactly.
And coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, you need to stop being mean to me. I'm the president.
All right. Boner candidate number 3 for round 2. Coming up after this, Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by...
It's the coldest, driest, windiest place on Earth where weird and wild creatures thrive. Antarctica transports you to the farthest reaches of the Earth and reveals what happens there affects every single one of us, now playing in Clark Planetarium's IMAX Theater.
Well, he hasn't made a big deal of it, but word keeps kind of leaking out, and so he made a public statement. Blink-182's Mark Hoppus says he's been battling cancer for quite some time. He says, for at least the past 3 months, I've been undergoing chemotherapy for cancer. For the past 3 months, I have been undergoing chemotherapy for cancer. I have cancer. Okay, that kind of follows. It sucks and I'm scared, and at the same time I'm blessed with incredible doctors and family and friends trying to get me through this. I have months of treatment ahead of me, but I'm trying to remain hopeful and positive. I can't wait to be cancer-free and see you all at a concert, hopefully in the near future. Love to you all.
It was interesting because he originally posted a picture of himself at the hospital, like it looked like he was there getting chemo, and then he took that down and then put up a statement about it. It doesn't say what kind of cancer or...
I'm looking here through the story, and it does not say in this particular story what kind of cancer it is. So, and then Selma Hayek, she went to the doctor because she felt she was experiencing menopause. Went to the doctor, and she says, yes. He said, yes, I do. You do have you're menopausal. And she said, and my breasts, they just kept growing and growing and growing throughout the whole menopause. They just
that's a side effect?
I didn't think so. It's just that I wake up every night at about 1:30 drenched in sweat. That's my...
Oh.
That is my...
Too bad you couldn't get
symptom.
that other kind that she has.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, well, I don't know. Maybe you should talk to her.
Yeah.
The boobs
I'm
grow...
doing menopause wrong.
The boobs grow a lot, she said. For some women, they get smaller, but there are some women that when you gain weight, your boobs grow, and other women that when you have children and you breastfeed, your boobs grow, and they don't go back down. And then in some of the cases, when you are menopause, they grow again. And I just happen to be one of those women where it happened. They got bigger every single day.
That has not been my experience, but...
Let's see.
But
now,
it's super fun. It's being a woman is super good fun.
Firefighters said that sparks from a commercial lawnmower ignited a brush fire in a neighborhood in Provo. So it's from a lawnmower. And the other day there were some kids with fireworks that started a brush fire near Provo. I think Provo, maybe somebody's trying to tell Provo something. To fire crews and the people whose homes were in the path of the flames, it's proof that a fire can spark anywhere, even in the middle of a busy business park.
It's kind of what Mayor Mendenhall was
I
telling
know.
us earlier today, is that you think of, downtown Salt Lake. Well, there's not a lot of grass and catch fire. Yeah, it doesn't take much.
If you look out there, it's kind of a tinderbox, and in this environment, anything can happen. said Bruce Martin, whose parents live in one of the evacuated homes. Ironically, Provo Fire and Rescue said a landscaping crew trying to mow a grassy field to cut down the fire danger started the fire instead, totally unintentionally, of course. The blade of the mower hit a rock, sparks flew. Next thing you know, that's all it took. There was a fire. Southern Utah University has asked students to please plan on living with relatives if you're coming to school here.
Because
they don't have enough housing.
Really?
Don't count on getting into student housing. Southern Utah University is warning students, and let school officials know if you come across any rental options that they can suggest to others. SUU Vice President for Student Affairs Jared Tippett sent an email to the student body last week, said, if you're coming back to school and you think you're going to live in student housing, think again. Look for relatives to live with. He cautioned that students who are on a waiting list for on-campus housing to keep looking because they can't count on beds freeing up before the fall semester. I remember when I went to graduate school, the cheapest place to live would be student housing. But my then wife and I, there was a waiting list, and we didn't get on it. I mean, well, we were on it, but there wasn't enough housing, so I had to rent someplace that was more expensive. Finally, though, we did get into student housing. I think the last year, I was there 3 years, and I think the last year we got into student housing, which was very nice. Spencer Cox is talking about how Utah is handling the drought, and remember he wanted us to pray for rain.
Well, it worked. Look.
Apparently so. Yeah, it's raining here. Governor Cox discussed how Utah's in the top 5 fastest warming states in the nation, and how it correlates with population growth. The state has risen. The state's temperature has risen 3 degrees since 1970. We have to do better. We have to conserve water. I suggest a border wall. Just a border wall.
How does that help with?
Well, because
water?
we keep people from coming in, because
Wow.
there's already too many people for the water that we have. So
What if people on the other side of the wall have babies?
I don't care. No, what we need to do is we need to put up a border wall and not let new people in and start expelling people that we don't like.
Oh, I'm before that.
I want to take a balloon trip to the edge of space.
Absolutely not.
Well, people are being able to. You sure now? Because for
I've given it a lot of thought, and there I am. Yeah.
Well, you seem pretty quick to say no, but
that's how I'm a quick thinker.
Well, maybe I can convince you. So sit right down. Look at my brochure.
All right.
On the $125,000, and you can. They're going to put a capsule, and it's a hot air balloon, and it will float up to space, the edge of space. Will it come back? That's anybody's guess. We don't know. White chocolate pretzel M&Ms. How does that sound to you?
I've thought about it, and I'm all for it.
Well, you can get them on your trip to space. They'll be serving them in the lounge. They're going to come out with, let's see, what's going to happen this fall. The limited edition variety was created exclusively for the 2021 holiday season, presenting the perfect balance of salty and sweet. The newest addition to the M&M family sees a crunchy pretzel-filled center engulfed in a white chocolate shell layer.
That sounds delicious.
I really do. I like white chocolate-covered pretzels. They're not particularly good for you, but they're good for you. They taste great. And that's it. Oh, the cattle stampede. I was going to just end with this. The cattle stampede in Pico Rivera, California. These were cows that were on their way to the slaughterhouse. There was a truck mishap, and the cows, 40 head of cattle, stampeding through the streets of Pico Rivera. It took a while to round them up, but all of them have been rounded up and are headed back to the slaughterhouse, except for 2.
And there's a movie being made about them right now.
They rounded up 38. 2 are still on the. Well, you can't say cows are on the lam, can you?
It's the Fast and Furious 10, where they herd the cattle in their cars.
They're trying to get the last two together.
Oh, let them go. Let the two go.
For NPR, I'm Pico Rivera.
All right, that's it.
Sports weather traffic.
Well, BYU football, Damian Lillard, and the Utah Jazz all in one tweet yesterday. This is a BYU football player, defensive lineman, tweeting at the former Weber State Wildcat and current Portland Trailblazer star Damian Lillard, saying it's with a Photoshop picture of him with the Jazz uniform on, going, huh? What do you think about maybe that? Yeah, huh? And Damian said that's a really bad Photoshop. Now, we don't know if that means the actual technique of the photoshopping was bad, or the idea of him playing for the Utah Jazz is bad.
Or maybe he meant it in the fact of that sometimes bad means good, like, man,
maybe.
that's bad.
See, that's why in text you need to be, you can't just leave things hanging that way.
So I take this to mean there's a chance Damian would like to play. Wouldn't that be fun if he came back to Utah and played for the Jazz? I think we would all like that. Real Salt Lake lost its first game after drawing or winning the previous four. They lost 2-1 to the Seattle Sounders. They play next, the Houston Dynamo. That will be Saturday at 6 p.m. Salt Lake Bees are supposed to play Las Vegas today. This rain that we have isn't like serious rain, so my guess is that will go on. And it's Thirsty Thursday. We know you guys like to know when it's Thirsty Thursday at the Bees ballpark. Back to the weather, 85 for a high today, which will feel really nice compared to what we've had for the last couple of weeks. Scattered showers, then possible thunderstorms tonight into tomorrow. And looks like tomorrow we have scattered showers and a high of 86. Traffic all morning. Folks have been dealing with this issue up in North Salt Lake, southbound I-15 to go westbound I-215. It's because a semi crashed and went over the barrier there, and I'm looking at the UDOT cameras. It's still really slow through that area, so anytime a semi is involved, it takes them longer to clean up and get things moving again. If you're in that area and you see things getting moving again, you can text it to us, 33986. Also be aware, roads are wet in places. Make sure you give yourself space between you and the car in front of you, and keep your lights on, please. This summer, downtown Salt Lake's Main Street closed to cars, open to pedestrians Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Restaurants, bars, and shops will extend their service onto the sidewalk with music and art each night. Learn more at downtownslc.org/open streets.
Here's boner candidate number 3. Stop being mean to me. I'm the president. It was in the middle of Donald Trump's presidency. Yes, he was yet again mad at Saturday Night Live, and he wanted the federal government to help him settle the score. In March of 2019, the then president of the United States had just watched an episode of Saturday Night Live, and it wasn't even a new episode. It was a rerun. And he grew immensely incensed that the show was gently mocking him. It's truly incredible that it shows that Saturday Night Live is not funny, no talent, can spend all of their time knocking the same person, me, over and over again without so much of a mention of the other side. Like in an advertisement without consequences. Same with late night shows. Should Federal Election Commission or the FCC look into this?
They want to kill our cows.
What?
That means you're next.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he wanted it looked into.
A ridiculous threat, but it isn't funny when the President of the United States tries to get the Justice Department to look into a satire show because they're making fun of him.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And that's how the First Lady got involved. She's got a son together that is a beautiful young man.
She's got a son together.
And their side has the nerve to call Biden sippy cup. I mean, really, I got a stack of these. Anyway.
Boner candidate number 3. Stop being mean to me. I'm the president.
Okay. Let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1 was, geez, thanks for the lift. Not no way to thank a guy for giving you a ride by stabbing him. Incident up in Roy. A woman charged with stabbing a man who was just trying to give her a ride. Boner candidate number 2, keep your hands inside the ride at all times. Disney guest filmed hopping in and out of a boat ride at the Epcot Center and trying to steal a cucumber off of a vine that was part of the exhibit at the boringest thing in Disney World you could possibly imagine. And boner candidate number 3, it's a ride where they float along and look at cucumbers.
That could be part of the boner, I guess.
What the hell?
It's about this new exciting hydroponic thing that they're
I
doing, and they're
suppose.
showing how we can use less water, and it's not for everyone.
And then boner candidate number 3, stop being mean to me, I'm the president.
There you go.
Cucumber ride.
You've got to decide of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight, and possibly become boner of the day. See if it wins here. It's not boner of the day yet. Round 1 happened an hour ago. We got a winner there. We'll get the winner here. We'll take both of the winners, put them against each other. You'll decide boner of the day at 9:20 this morning. That's when boner fight happens. So pick your champion from this round 2 to send forward. 1, 2, or 3. Remember which candidate you want to win. Put that single digit in the message of a text and then text it to 33986. Easy. All right? Or you can call the producer's booth. Use your voice to vote. You can call them at 877-602-9696. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Voting June 24, 2021, and vote there. Now, you have only until the end of these messages to do it, so get to it. This is round 2 of your boners. RandLife.com.
Rand Life is a local mortgage company. They really know the mortgage business, and they know how it functions in Utah, sometimes than in other places, and they can help you refinance your mortgage loan. I've refinanced my loan with Rand Life twice, and I did it because they pointed out to me how I could save money doing it. So give them the opportunity to maybe look at your mortgage and see if there are ways that you can save money either on so it's a refinance where you can maybe lower your monthly payment. Maybe you're still paying mortgage insurance and you don't have to be. Rand Life can tell you that. And or you can maybe even get money out of your home if you do the refinance and do some remodeling. So call Rand Life, 801-478-4500. That's 478-4500. Or you can go to their website, randlife.com.
8:47, time to award round 2 of your boners.
And round 2 of the boner voting is brought to you in part by Mexican Street Corn.
Nice.
And don't miss the 1-2-3 sales event at Young Automotive Group. Get 1 year of gas from Maverick, 2.74% interest rate in 3 months, no payments on your vehicle purchase June 24th through the 28th. Terms apply.
Boner candidate number 1, geez, thanks for the lift. And boner candidate number 2, keep your hands inside the ride. Yeah. They split the vote. They each got a fair number of votes, but split and allowed boner candidate number 3 to win. Stop being mean to me, I'm the president.
Is this book out yet? Because I may actually buy this and read it.
Let me see. I don't think it's out yet. These are just a bunch of excerpts from it.
All right. That is boner candidate number 2 for round 2, the winner. And it is now qualified to be Boner of the Week. It'll go up against the winner of round 1's voting. Boner fight happens at 9:20. That's when you'll decide Boner of the Day between those 2 champions.
Hey, Gerke, how's it going?
Gerke!
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. It's Robert Gerke. He's columnist for the Salt Lake Tribune. And there are a couple of things. You did a column a day or 2 ago, Robert, about, it says, this ruling guts Utah's open records law. Citizens in the dark. You caught some flack for that. What is this ruling, and what were you writing about there?
Well, I mean, what happened is there was if you remember the Bridalveil Falls development, there was this developer who wanted to put a rehab center at the top of Bridalveil Falls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of this treasured landmark in Utah County. And the commission was going to sell it to this guy, and the citizen wanted to know the communication that this commissioner had with residents, but particularly this developer, about that project. And so he filed an open records request, and the commissioner said, he filed an open record request for this commissioner's text messages. And the commissioner said, I don't have any text messages about that. And then the guy appealed it, but the appeals in the county go to the county commissioner to decide. So he just said, well, I don't have anything. So he went to the records committee, and the records committee said, well, he may have something, but we don't have subpoena power. We can't make him turn over his phone because if there were text messages, they were sent and received on a private phone. And so, we can't do anything about it, So what this means is any politician, any office holder, any state employee, or anybody who wants to shield their records from the public can do all their communications on a private phone and either delete things, or when if there is a records request, just say I don't have anything.
Yeah.
And so it just seems like it's something that in a lot of places, state legislators, for example, here they have a government issued cell phone, and so that's where they're supposed to do their official business. But if they don't want to do it there, they don't have to, and there's really nothing that prevents them from doing that.
Haven't there been some federal open records laws that kind of supersede that? Haven't they? I swear there have been some court cases where they've said, no, if you do work on your private phone, you're a public official. That's still the public's right to know.
I mean, the federal law, they're supposed to do everything again on the government phone.
Yeah.
They have, there are apps, there's software that's supposed to archive all this stuff. Technically, yes, even under the state law, that if it's done on it doesn't matter what device it's done on. If I do it on my home computer, if I do it on my private cell phone, whatever, it's supposed to be retained and made available to the public if it's official business. So, but we kind of have to trust the officials in this circumstance, and we do know that in this one with Utah County, the guy who was asking for these records did get a text message. A fellow citizen gave him a text message that he had sent about that topic. So at some point, there was at least one that had been sent to this guy that he didn't turn over. And then the question became, well, are there others? And the records committee just said, well, we don't know. We can't look. We can't make him turn over.
And is that where it stands? Is that where it stays?
Right now, that's where it stands. He can appeal it to the third. He did get an email from Andrew Stoddard, a state representative, who says he wants to try to address this. But it's kind of tricky to address because really, if the law says that he's supposed to do it now and he's not, then that's really a failure of the politician, not necessarily
Now,
the
Gerke,
law.
I don't know if we have enough time here, but we talked today about this Steve Christiansen saying he's going to. I want to know your thoughts on this. Going to introduce legislation that we only teach things in college that aren't divisive.
Yeah, Steve Christiansen's really become our culture warrior here. He's the one who wanted to ban critical race theory. He wanted to do an audit of our election, even though I don't think our election was really in doubt. But he wants to ban universities and colleges from talking about divisive topics, which just seems to go against the whole notion that you go to universities and topics to be confronted with new ideas and kind of grapple and learn to think critically as become an adult, And so I think this is a non-starter. I can't imagine that anybody's going to go along with this. And, he doesn't really define what divisive topics are, but
you can guess.
Oh, you know what they are.
I know them when I see them.
I think we can all assume it's anything he doesn't like. But he's really become sort of the leading right-wing culture warrior in the legislature, and for the most part, our legislature has a lot of sort of reasonable people, but he's kind of out there on the fringes, really pushing these Fox News issues.
I would just ask the Christiansen family, please, if you could go and get the remote on his television and block OAN and Fox News with that child protective thing that's on there, and then rip out his AM radio in his car, I think we might be okay.
It would probably save us all a lot of trouble, huh?
Yeah, he's the guy who went down to Arizona to look at the
that's
audit.
Right.
Yeah, and then came back and said, well, I think we need to audit our recent election here in Utah.
And the funny thing is like, this has never been an issue. We've been using the same election laws here for years. And nobody's. It's sort of been pointed to as a model of how to run mail-in elections, and now because of all of this hoopla that Trump is stirring up about, Arizona and Georgia, he jumps on board.
It's all based on a lie. Michigan just did an audit of their elections. Done by Republicans. It was 3 Republicans and 1 Democrat. And they found absolutely nothing. But that didn't stop those same 3 Republicans from saying, that being said, we should also let these crazy guys in Arizona come up and do an audit as well. Yeah.
I'll tell you, Terry, I was watching a One America Network news piece about the audit about the election in Georgia. And if you don't understand how elections work, it's it's incredibly deceptive and can be pretty compelling, the lies that they're telling there. But, if you dig into it even a little bit, you realize it falls apart. But I don't think people do. I think they take it on face value.
No, we all just read the headlines.
Well, you're right. That does sound horrible.
Exactly.
This is the news.
Yeah.
And if they took the time, if they took the time to look into the people who are conducting this audit and about their backgrounds, you would see that they are grifters and they believe that there are Nazi alien bases on the moon. I'm not exaggerating.
Oh, I believe that.
I believe that.
You don't believe that? I believe that.
I think we should probably not talk about that on the air, though. People will find out about it.
Hey, Gerke, we're going to let you go, but have you got a new column today or tomorrow? What's next?
Well, I'm doing a piece about how right now, and if we're seeing the Delta variant spreading, we're seeing cases rising. We're not going to go back to a lockdown, so our really only option is to get people vaccinated. But how do we do that when the legislature has said, no, you can't give people any incentives, you can't have a lottery, you can't do anything like this? Did you know Washington State is letting retailers give away joints to people who get
I heard that.
vaccinated? I thought that was thinking outside the box, I guess. So,
Robert Gerke, columnist for the Salt Lake Tribune, thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you next. We'll be off for a week, but when we come back from vacation, okay?
All right. Have a good vacation. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much. Traffic, Gina, please.
Yeah, sorry, North Salt Lake. You're still dealing with that semi-accident. Southbound I-15, westbound I-215 in North Salt Lake. We heard from our friend Sid, who just drove by there and went, yep, it's still bad.
Oh, so it's a full accident. It's not a semi-accident. It's
a full accident with a semi-trailer, I guess is what it is. So if you're like Sid and it's safe for you to let us know what you're seeing, we appreciate it. 33986.
All right. We will take a break. We will be back. We got Boner Fight on the way, a reasonable amount of news, all that and more. 3, 2, 1. Wendy's for breakfast. So easy to hit the drive-through on your way to work or class, or if you're getting out of town because it's that time, taking a little vacation. Easy to hit the drive-through at Wendy's, and Wendy's drive-through is pretty fast. When I talk about this, I get texts from people saying, "Yeah, you weren't kidding. They're really fast." Not only that, but they're affordable. This is a great deal, the 2 for $4 deal that is happening right now. They're made fresh with quality ingredients like oven-baked bacon, fresh cracked eggs, toasted to order croissants. Wendy's for breakfast for a limited time. The sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant, my favorite. The bacon, egg, and Swiss croissant. And the honey butter chicken biscuit, which I am told, I haven't tried it yet, I'm told it's like chicken and waffles kind of a thing. They are 2 for $4. How great of a deal is that? Nice and hot, 2 for $4, and fast on your way out of town or wherever it is you're going. Hit Wendy's Drive Up right now.
Various conspiracy theories suggest...
Mine is Chevy chasing a dog.
All right. Well, my initial reaction was because you said creature, because I've always just wanted robots. I have 100 different robots I'd love to have.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you said creature, and I went. My initial reaction was, well, Rocket Raccoon, because he could upgrade all my electronics and everything just using scraps.
And steal things for you.
But I don't think he'd take well to being a pet.
No.
He'd not respond well to that.
You could call him a trash panda and he wouldn't know.
But then my wife reminded me of something that I said a week or so ago. I don't know if you guys have been watching the Netflix show Ratched.
Oh, it's so good. I finished it all in a day.
I've watched a couple of them.
We binged them. It's only like 8 episodes.
Yeah.
We just binged right through them, and so good. And it's the story of Nurse Ratched, who is in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This is kind of her origin story, and it's such a great little story. Just some great acting, and it's just fun. But Sharon Stone plays a very wealthy widow socialite in it.
Okay.
And she has, it's not a capuchin monkey. I can't remember what kind of monkey it is. Named Miss Petunia. And Miss Petunia, this is the thing about it.
Okay.
Is that Sharon Stone and Miss Petunia dress identically.
It's cute.
So,
If
and I
you
stopped.
had a monkey that you would dress them like you.
I hit the pause button while we're watching that, and I said, if I were incredibly wealthy, I would have a capuchin monkey, and I would make clothes for it that looked exactly like my clothes, and we would wear matching outfits every day.
Little hats.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd get little hats, like this little flower shirt that we got going here. I'd have an exact duplicate of it, and he would ride on my shoulder.
I would love this.
And people
sure.
could say, he's crazy, and I say, no, I'm wealthy. That means I'm eccentric.
Yes.
Ooh, there you go.
Oh, hey, Carrie, you know that, what was that show with the kids with the powers?
The show with the kids with the
Are you talking
powers?
about Lock and Key?
The something club?
Umbrella Academy?
Umbrella Academy.
Okay.
How about that chimpanzee that's in Academy?
I don't know if he'd do well with being called a pet either, really.
Yeah, but it'd be cool to have him as a companion.
Professor, what's his name?
Yeah, he wears a butler's uniform all the time and has an English accent.
Yes. A super chimp. Oh, yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be easy, because he could take care of himself.
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be really nice. And he sort of is he kind of organizes the house and takes care of things in a lot of ways.
Oh,
in
there
the
you
Umbrella
go.
Academy. Umbrella Academy. I can't remember I can't remember his name.
Professor something. Pogo, thank you.
Pogo.
Thank you, Ed in the chat room. Ed in the chat room coming through.
Yeah.
So that's who you've chosen. That's a good choice. Okay.
So there you go, best question of the week. See, that didn't change the world. It was just a silly question.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be something super serious. Email it to us, radiohell@x96.com. Put best question in the subject line.
Or you could put, here's your damn question.
Yeah, you want a here's a damn question for you. What do you think about this?
Yeah.
Could be that.
Gina wearing a turtleneck sweater today.
Covering up her hickeys. That's what people do.
It's interesting. People don't wear turtlenecks very often anymore.
Unless they're covering up hickeys.
You got something against hickeys?
That's why I used to have a dickie.
To cover your hickey?
To cover the hickey. It was my hickey dickie. I mentioned a dickie the other day, and I don't think anyone knew what I was talking about.
I don't think anybody has them anymore.
Dickie is now a clothing brand, and that's what it's known for.
As a matter of fact, that's what I said. Somebody said to me, "Oh yeah, I love dickies. Their coats and their pants," and I went,
"Yeah,
no, I'm
an
never
actual
mind.
dickie.
Never mind.
It's a fake shirt.
Dickie was a fake sweater.
Was
it a fake shirt
it's a
or
collar.
Sweater?
It's
a fake sweater.
Fake sweater.
It was to make it look as though you were wearing a turtleneck
under your vest or jacket
or your shirt or whatever. Yeah, to make it as though you were wearing a. It was really a stupid idea.
It was a dumb idea.
I had one, I think, for some reason.
But they were everywhere. It seems like I knew everybody had one.
Yeah.
Nobody wore them, but everybody had one.
It's a stupid idea.
Well, turtlenecks are stupid unless you're the Gorton's fisherman.
It's true.
Maybe I'm going fishing later.
Yeah, sure.
No, you're not. You're going to be way too warm in that.
You think?
Yeah.
You're dressed up for people today, aren't
We're
you?
seeing people.
Mm-hmm.
I've never worn this sweater, and I thought, I'll wear that.
Yeah, you'll be too warm. You'll be uncomfortable.
Too late now.
You're going to be sweating and sweating. It's going to be in your folds and everything.
I don't have any folds.
Well, of course not. She's a lady.
Yeah.
I'm smooth top to bottom. Rod Stewart.
What?
I just saw this. There's pictures of Rod Stewart and his wife getting a cozy lunch date at the Subway near their Essex home. There's a picture of them sitting in the Subway. They ordered 2 6-inch subs.
Really? What beverage did they have, Gina? Did they have? I don't know if Subway is a Coke or a Pepsi venue. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I hope they had a cola.
You don't think of Rod Stewart as.
I don't think of Rod Stewart. Period.
And he didn't wait in a car and send his wife in.
Why would he?
He's just sitting there.
Why would he? He's a chivalrous man.
If I'm really hungry, I stop by the Subway. Come on, honey, let's get some.
See?
Thank you.
Because on this day,
in 1961, English musician Kurt Smith from Tears for Fears, who had a #1 hit with that song, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, the day he was born. And it reminds me, when you hear the Tears for Fears, mostly you think of the 80s and 80s movies and 80s. So last night, because my husband wasn't here, I've been taking my daughter on a tour through movies of my childhood.
Why would you subject her to that?
Just like, oh, I enjoyed this when I was your age, kind of thing.
Really, Mom? Gah.
No, she doesn't talk to me that way. She's like, yeah, I'd like to see what. And normally it's gone well. She's liked.
So what'd you show her last night?
So last night I'm like, oh, I haven't showed you Pretty in Pink yet. We should watch Pretty in Pink.
No.
Very problematic film.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched Pretty in Pink in a long time.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's that hillbilly rape scene that is just... Oh, no, wait, that's Deliverance. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what your family watches together. But it was not good. It did not hold up.
No, it does not.
It was not...
When I saw it when it first came out, it was not good and did not hold up.
And you know what? That's one that I have not seen.
Ever?
No, I have not seen that one.
I had fond memories of it, and we watched it, and she thought everything in it was hilarious. The clothing and the music and the... But it's just not... it is not one of John...
Were treated.
It's not one of John Hughes' best, I don't think.
What is one of John Hughes' best?
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club is, I think, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I think he's got
Ferris Bueller. Yeah, I would say Ferris.
And she loves those. But
it's
not.
Yeah,
so
16
then
Candles is not. I mean, you got the racial stereotypes in there. You got the, she's willing to do anything to be with the most popular guy.
Yeah.
It's like Grease.
Shut up! We're not talking Grease. That's a different conversation.
That's a different movie that doesn't hold up and is kind of offensive.
But it reminded me of the story that Molly Ringwald, that John Hughes, that obviously he loved her and wanted her and everything. She didn't want to do Pretty in Pink.
I don't want to do it.
And she said, I'll do it if you let me pick the music. And so she had all of her favorite bands, and a lot of them we played at KJQ and X96. Like, I forgot the Rave Ups was in that. So I like the music in it. And the Butler Brothers. Why am I not thinking of Psychedelic Furs? No, Psychedelic Furs.
Oh, yeah.
There's Psychedelic Furs, and the music's good in it. And I was telling my daughter that, because there's a couple scenes when they're in a club and there's a band playing, and I'm like, Molly Ringwald said she wouldn't do this movie unless she could get her friends' band.
Orchestral maneuvers in the dark.
Yeah. So that was a positive about it, I thought, but not.
No, it's
not a good.
And it was terrible at the time. I mean, she was kind of. It was not a good role model for young women.
Yeah. Here's a text. We watched 16 Candles with our son when he turned 16. The shower scene was over before we could turn it off.
Yeah, 16 Candles is like Carrie was saying, racial stereotypes and how women are portrayed, and that's not so much in Pretty in Pink.
Oh, he didn't direct it. Apparently, he was the producer. At least that's what a texter is telling me.
Well, it's a John.
James Spader was in it though.
Yeah, and he's the best part of it because he plays a jerk, and James Spader is
at
really
that age,
good
yes,
at playing a jerk.
yes. And he's a real jerk in Age of Ultron, but that's
Andrew Dice Clay was in it as well.
He was. I forgot he was in it.
Now here's a suggestion from a texter. Some Kind of Wonderful still holds up because Leah Thompson standing up for herself is very empowering.
Okay, so that's one I don't think we've watched. So maybe
Wow,
or maybe
Dweezil.
she's gonna give up.
I
Yeah,
don't remember
Dweezil
this.
Zappa was in there.
Jeez, I forgot that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Annie Potts is in
and whatever
it.
happened to Andrew
Richard-
McCarthy? Whatever happened to that guy?
He got a drinking problem and went away for a while.
He directs a lot of episodes of The Blacklist.
Oh, does he? So
Yeah.
his friend James Spader,
Yeah.
keeps him employed.
But
Harry
I
Dean
think,
Stanton.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
yeah.
play-
That
he
was
plays
Molly
the
Ringwald's
dad.
dad. Yeah.
Well, with a dad like that, you know why she was willing to do
I
what
don't
she
understand why Molly wants to be with the most popular guy. I don't understand.
did. Gina Gershon.
Uh-huh.
Yes, my
Christy-
darling Gina Gershon.
There was Ducky and then Duckette.
Yeah. John Cryer. I mean, it had things in it that were moments, but on the whole, it was not.
There's a texter, Molly Ringwald, once said that she wished that she didn't think Andy would have chosen either guy. She should have chosen neither and stood up for herself in a later interview. Yeah. Okay. There you go. All right. Well, we'll take a break. We'll be back. Boner Fight is on the way. A reasonable amount of news, all that and more coming up. Scott Hale, Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Get your air conditioning tuned up, man. It's when it's working right, it's cheaper and it'll keep you cool during the summer. And we're just in the beginning of the summer, and I think the hot weather is going to continue on in through August.
Oh,
and
we'll be back up
September.
into the hundreds next week, so this is just a tiny blip.
So call Scott Hale. They will come over. Now I don't know if they're changing this special at the end of the month. So don't take this. After June it may be over, but $39 for an air conditioning tune-up. I can almost guarantee the price is going to go up. So call Scott Hale right away and get your air conditioner tuned up for just $39. Keep cool. Get peace of mind knowing that your cooling system is reliable. It's 801-264-HALE. I mean, it's going to be hot as hail out there. 801-264-HALE. That's 264-HALE for Scott Hale. And now, it's time to play the game that super freaks everywhere want to play. It's Beat Gina. You try to match wits with a very kinky girl, the kind you don't take. Yes, she waits in room 714 with incense, wine, and candles. It's such a freaky scene. And now, here's your Beat Gina host. He's the kind of guy you do take home to meet your mother. He's all right. He's all right. He'll never let your spirits down.
No.
Carrie Jack Jackson.
Oh, thank you, Johnny. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. 877-602-9696 is the number to call to play Beat Gina. And today, it's easy trivia. Come on. I mean, really.
I haven't ever seen Pineapple Express.
You've not seen the movie Pineapple Express.
Your chances of winning are very good.
I haven't seen it either. I don't even. It's about people delivering pineapples.
No.
It's a weed comedy from
Yeah.
Seth Rogen.
Really? Not Seth Rogen.
Yes, I know, right? 877-602-9696, Pineapple Express, released on this day in 2008, and I believe we do have a contestant on the line. Is that correct, Katie?
We do. It's going to be Kyle.
All right, let's go to Kyle. Kyle is your contestant for Beat Gina. Hello, Kyle. How are you?
Hi, guys. How are you doing?
All right. Good. Kyle, your chances of winning are increased if you win the coin toss, because that means you get to go first. Heads or tails, call it.
Tails.
Tails. All right, let's see what we got here. It is heads. I'm terribly sorry, Kyle. That means Gina goes first. She does have an advantage now. This first question is hers alone to answer. If she gets it correct, she gets the point. If not, Kyle, you get a chance to answer it and steal the point away. We'll go back and forth and do that until somebody reaches 3 points, thank God. Let's see. Here's your first question, Gina.
Yes.
Sang the theme song to the movie Pineapple Express.
Okay.
Today, level 42. B, Kaja Gugu. C, Huey Lewis and the News. Or D, the Blow Monkeys.
I don't think digging your scene was. Let's go.
Sorry.
Let's go with Huey Lewis in the News.
Wow. And you've never seen this movie?
No,
huh?
I have not.
Wow, that is
I
correct.
think that was a very educated guess. All right, it's 1-0 in favor of Gina, that super freak. And now, let's go to Kyle.
All right, Kyle. Which actor spent all day on set duct taped to a chair? Which actor? Was it Ian McDermott? B, Dermot Mulroney? C, Craig Robinson? Or D, Danny McBride?
D, Danny McBride.
Wow, very good, Kyle, very good.
Kyle's got a point. It's tied up. Gina controls the question.
Kyle's got a point.
Kyle, you have a point.
All right.
He has a point.
Gina, what does Saul wear on his head for most of the movie?
Okay.
What does Saul wear on his head for most of the movie? Was it A, a headband, B, a scarf, C, a MAGA hat, or D, a face mask?
On his head. Headband.
Headband is correct.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I told you it's easy trivia. Come on.
It's 2-0. Gina leads, but now Kyle has a chance to tie the game.
All right, Kyle. Let's see here. Let's find a good easy story. Okay. What kind of car does Red drive? .23 coming up here in about 5 or so minutes. We have boner fights. So before that, a reasonable amount of news brought to you by.
Don't miss the 123 sales event at Young Automotive Group. Get 1 year of gas from Maverick, 2.74% interest rate, and 3 months no payments on your vehicle purchase June 24th through the 28th. Terms apply.
I want a baby. That's what Britney Spears told the court yesterday as she gave what's referred to here as earth-shattering evidence about her conservatorship and how she hasn't been able to do anything with her life since...
It's Britney Watch, keeping you up to date with all your Britney Spears news.
She hasn't been able to do anything as long as her father's been controlling her. Britney Spears' father, Jamie, has issued a brief statement following his daughter's shocking hearing in Los Angeles. Following Britney's remote appearance in court, Jamie Spears' legal team has released a statement insisting that, quote, he loves his daughter very much. They said he is sorry to see his daughter suffering and in so much pain. Mr. Spears loves his daughter very much. The statement comes after the Times report revealed that the 68-year-old Jamie Spears has moved back to his home in Kentwood, Louisiana. He's living in an RV, apparently. I don't know why. He's been in control of his daughter's conservatorship for the past 13 years, controlling what is believed to be a fortune of millions of dollars. While he controls her fortune, and reportedly he lives in an RV, and his daughter is only given an allowance of $2,000 a week. It was revealed during the Wednesday hearing that Britney wants to end the conservatorship and that she has been opposing it for quite some time, quietly. Now she's being vocal about it. She said, they forced me to have an IUD implanted so I can't have kids. I'd like to be a mother one more time. She has this boyfriend that's, I guess they've been pretty steady on for quite a while. And,
be a mommy one more time. If I were a good DJ.
I want to be able to get married to my boyfriend and have a baby, but the conservatorship told me I can't do that. So,
do you have the same breaking news that I do, Gina?
Is it about Rudy Giuliani?
Yes, it is.
What?
Rudy Giuliani's law license has been suspended in the state of New York. A disciplinary body says he made demonstrably false and misleading statements to courts, lawmakers, and the public at large in his capacity as lawyer for former President Donald J. Trump.
How's he going to make a living?
It's all the best people. I only have the best people.
So that's just, he hasn't been disbarred.
His license has been suspended in the state of New York.
Suspended.
And no one would give him one anywhere else, I don't think. So I guess it's as good as being disbarred.
Listen, I can practice in Ukraine. I have a law school in Ukraine.
I'm sure he could.
A California man accused of stealing a ring-tailed lemur from the San Francisco Zoo could spend up to a year behind bars should he be found guilty. Corey McGalloway made his initial appearance in federal court and he's charges of trying to steal or stealing an endangered species. Prosecutors allege that Mr. McGilloway, a 31-year-old from Los Angeles, sneaked into the zoo's lemur forest on October 13th and left with one of the zoo's lemurs.
The lemur talked to me and said, "Get me out of here," and I was just trying to help.
The lemur's name was Mackie. Mackie was reported missing the next morning. Quick investigation showed on video and stuff that they were able to find the guy. Mackie, a 5-year-old boy spotted Mackie unattended in a playground later that day. So apparently the lemur,
he ditched it.
Yeah, apparently either the lemur was able to escape, or the guy ditched him because he found, well, maybe this isn't the best pet after all.
They could be a pain in the ass.
Ring-tailed lemur. Let's see, the court. Convicted killer in the Utah State Prison. His name is Elroy Tillman. He's been on, he was convicted of murder and had the death penalty assigned to him. When was this? Back in 1982. He murdered a guy named Mark Schoenfeld, who was beaten to death and set on fire in his Salt Lake City home. Tillman was originally sentenced to death, but after it was disclosed that information from the case was withheld from his lawyers, The Utah Supreme Court ordered him to be resentenced, and then he got a 5-year to life sentence. But the state parole board then converted it to a natural life sentence.
What does that mean?
I think it means you'll stay in prison until you die.
Well, how is that different than a life sentence?
Well, it means you can't be paroled. Anyway, he tried to get this overturned. He appealed it, but no, the court says no, the sentence stand. Mr. Tillman has, the death row on the Utah State Prison, forget how many people are there, 7 maybe, but they've kind of done away with it apparently, with death row. They're now allowed, so death row, you're in an individual cell by yourself. You're allowed out for just a few, very short time, and you don't get to associate with people very much, with other inmates. They've done away with it. They've integrated them back into the prison population, which a lot of people are upset about. They say, well, if you're on death row, you ought to stay there. Anyway.
It's Boner Fight. With Radio from Hell on X96.
Well, here we go. The winner from round 1. Should we be teaching things that are we should only be teaching things that are wholesome and have good report, apparently. At least if state legislator Christiansen has his way, that's what we should do. He's planning on introducing some legislation which saying we shouldn't be teaching things in higher education, even in colleges and universities, that are divisive, that cause people to argue. We shouldn't be teaching that stuff. Now, how he's planning to do this, I don't know.
And what he's planning to teach is even more in question.
Yeah. But some other states have done it, Montana among them. So he's going to try and do that, Christiansen. Going up against number 2, stop being mean to me, I'm the president. Apparently in this new book coming out, it's President Trump wanted the Justice Department to stop Saturday Night Live from teasing him. We need to.
I really want this to be true. I really do.
I'm sure. Listen,
I think it is.
I'm sure it's true.
I mean, look at the stuff that is true.
I know.
Couldn't we cure COVID by putting a light in some drinking some bleach or that? And, Boner candidate number 2, stop being mean to me, I'm the president.
All right. So you've got to decide with your vote right now who is Boner of the Day, 1 or 2. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. That's one way. Another way is to call the producer's booth at 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Fight June 24, 2021, and vote there. If you don't see that box online, refresh your browser. It should appear. You have until the end of these messages. Let's go. It's Boner of the Day. What kind of car? Was it a Daewoo Luganza? B, a Daewoo Lanos, C, a Daewoo Thanos, or D, a Daewoo Spirochete? Daewoo Lanos? That is correct.
Yes.
It's 2-2. The game is knotted up in a tense game.
I'm so tense.
Gina controls the question. We'll wake her up and see if she can win the game.
All right. Gina?
Yes.
What song are they rocking out to as Dale is serving subpoenas at the beginning of the movie? What song is playing as a series of subpoenas are being served? What song is it? Is it A, Donald Trump is the president? Donald Trump is the president. Is it A? Is it B, Butterfly Kisses? C, We Are Family? Or D, Electric Avenue?
Oh, I would love it to be Butterfly Kisses, but I'm going to say Electric Avenue.
Is Electric Avenue.
Because there's nothing subtle about Pineapple Express.
No.
Well, Kyle,
Oh,
we're terribly
Kyle.
sorry you've not won any prizes from us because you've been beaten by
No,
the kind of girl that you don't take home to mother,
Oh,
the kind
no.
of girl that is all right, that's all right with me. Yes, she's a super freak.
Now, Johnny, wouldn't a freaky thing for me to do would be to give a prize to someone that lost to me? Wouldn't that be a freaky thing to do to
That
give
would be-
Kyle that Radio from Hell beer T-shirt?
That would be unprecedented.
It's never happened.
Kyle, you won the T-shirt and the tote bag. How about that?
Oh, perfect. That sounds great.
Well,
It is
Kyle,
perfect.
I think it's completely fitting and in keeping with the movie Pineapple Express that losers win.
Yes, we're rewarding people for their losing behavior. 38.
What did you say right at the end of that? Where are we
supposed to take dumps?
Because she kicked him out of the
She
house.
kicked him out of the house.
No, I know that. I just didn't quite hear what he said.
All right, time to award Boner of the Day.
Andy is brought to you in part by the Impossible Burger and Mexican street corn.
And Young Power Sports in Centerville, Utah's newest power sports dealer. Tri-City Performance is now Young Power Sports in Centerville, your Polaris and Victory motorcycle dealer. See inventory online at youngpowersports.com.
Boner candidate number 1. We should only be teaching things that are wholesome and of good report. Yes, Utah Representative Steve, is it? Steve Christiansen,
Yeah.
West Jordan. He thinks that we should be able to stop colleges from teaching about divisive topics.
I don't know what he's talking about or how he put it.
Your tax dollars at work there, folks.
Yeah, and West Jordan, way to go. We salute you for...
2021, now qualified to be Boner of the Week. That'll happen tomorrow at about this time. All right, let's get Taryn on the phone here.
I think we have her there. Taryn, are you...
I sure am. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you all?
Good. Taryn is the regional director, I guess, of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We've talked about this for a while, but the event is now upon us, right, on Saturday?
Yes. Yeah, Saturday. We have our 4th annual Ride to Fight Suicide.
So tell us about it. Where does it start, and how does this all go down?
Yeah, we have a dear friend of our chapter, Mary Ann Radford Cook, who lost her son-in-law to suicide a little over 4 years ago. So she started the annual Ride to Fight Suicide. It'll start at the Golden Spike Harley-Davidson. They go up over the north of Thief. It robs people from those barriers of stigma that keep us from seeking help when we're struggling, knowing that it's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to do nothing about it, right? There's so many resources out there we can reach out to get help for our mental health, and now more than ever. We want to encourage people to do that. So this ride helps to bring awareness and light to that cause, raise funds for suicide prevention, that we can do programs here in our state, and just another event and activity that gets people out and engaged. And we know after COVID, we're excited. This is our first in-person event since the pandemic, and we're just thrilled to be back and support. So please, if you are, reach out to the crisis line, call. Tell a friend, tell somebody that you trust. And again, if you see somebody struggling, reach out and just say, how are you? And actually listen, listen to what they have to say. You don't have to fix it because you can't, but you can be there and be a good friend.
What's the crisis line number, Taryn?
Yeah, you can call 1-800-273-8255, and you'll get somebody up at Huntsman Mental Health Institute if you're calling from the Utah area code.
Okay. Now, if people have not registered for the ride, can they still be a part of it? What if I don't have I don't have a Harley? I mean, how do you get involved with the ride on Saturday?
Yeah, so go ahead and visit our website, afs.org/Utah, and go to our events. You'll see the ride page there. You can register to join. If you don't have a Harley and you want to drive along the route, that's fine too. You can even just come hang out with me, because I'm not going to be on a Harley, but I'll be on a bike and hanging out until after. I mean, I wish. She's a passenger. I'll be your passenger. But, just come hang out. There's a great vibe. We're going to, again, have music and food afterwards. We'll be safe. Your safety is our top priority. So, we'll practice the measures that we know to keep folks safe. But, just visit our website, afsp.org/Utah, and sign up and come join us.
Okay. I hope it's a huge success, and we'll talk to you again soon, Taryn. Bye-bye.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
everybody.
Taryn. All right, we will take a break, and we'll crawl towards the exits after these X96.
We're having second thoughts because people will assume that's why we named him Donovan, and that's not the case. Yeah. Just parenthetically, there's a news story today that says 109 parents have apparently in 2018 named their baby Tesla. But I got an email from our former organized intern, Sarah Spain, about baby names.
Okay.
Said, I enjoyed listening to that letter from the woman who would like to name her child Donovan. I had a similar situation about 10 years ago. Despite the fact, so if you recall in 2010, Twilight The Sparkly Teenage Vampires was very popular, and every person asked me if I'd named my precious fur baby after that awful character from those books. I would posit that it's an actual insult that someone would think I would stain a creature with the name from the book series than someone thinking that you would name a child after, as Gina pointed out, a wonderful, generous human being and basketball player.
Yes.
However, years have passed, and not one person asked me if I named her after Twilight anymore. It's more often now is whether she is male or female, and my favorite response to kids especially is that her reproductive organs were removed, and I've never been able to ask her how she identifies, so I'll just call her Bella and don't worry so much about the label. Like that. As Bill mentioned, in the time young Donovan is in school, not Donovan Mitchell, but the kid, Spida Mitchell will probably have retired. Regardless, Donovan is a lovely name. It isn't like Avery, Office Products, or Stockton. Malone has a middle name, sure, but as a first name? Some people shouldn't be, Malone as a middle name, sure, but as a first name, some people shouldn't be allowed to procreate. Or Zebulon or Elzard, hand to Thor. I absolutely attended school with both of those.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, Elzar and Zebulon. Or many of the other asinine names to make their kids different. All it does is make each school year difficult as the teacher and new friends try to figure out how to say and or spell the name. So you shouldn't care what other people think. If 5 people think you named them after a great person and a basketball player, so what? At least it isn't someone who is a real turd. My name is Sarah every day. And every day I want to smack Sarah Huckabee Sanders for smearing our good name.
That's right.
You'd be hard-pressed to find a name for a child that doesn't carry with it someone who had it before. Good luck. Hope you get lots of sleep before August. I don't know why before August. What?
Don't know.
I don't know.
Is something happening in August?
Do we not know?
I don't know.
Does she know something we don't?
Maybe.
Oh, no. She's talking about the people whose baby's going to be born in August.
Oh, she's not talking to us.
No.
She's talking to them.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Confusing.
She says, adopt, don't shop, don't ruin anything. Love your former intern, Sarah.
You know, I was at that graduation this weekend, so you spend 3 hours listening to names being read. There were 2 princesses.
The name.
The name Princess. And one of them, middle name...
What?
Leia.
Really?
Princess Leia.
I thought they didn't say the middle name.
No, I said some of them do.
They know that she's a general. General Leia.
Well, it's
Sanderson.
Not a princess anymore.
But there was an actual Princess Leia.
Wow.
And a lot of Emilys.
Emilys.
A lot of Emilys.
You've gotten a lot of crap over the years for naming your kid Festus.
I have.
Yeah.
He was the only one in his class.
Festus, it's a biblical name.
And people spell it wrong all the time. They spell it with an IS. No. On his birth certificate, it's US.
I have a cautionary tale, I think.
Okay.
This past Saturday, I, Bill Allred, was charged with ordering some pizzas online for myself and for the kids to eat, and then because my wife was going to be gone, she went to do a roller derby event. So with order pizzas.
That seems pretty easy.
Well, so then the next day I get this email from my wife. Now what I did was she said, "You just use my account. I already have an account set up.
Okay.
Use my account and pay for the pizzas with PayPal, and they'll deliver them and so on." Then I get this message. How on earth did 2 pizzas and some cinnamon knots cost this much? And why is there an additional charge? And what? $58.80 for two 12-inch pizzas.
Mm-hmm.
And dollars or
what did you put on this pizza?
Well, I put a lot of stuff on it. I had a certain, it was just because they charge you for every little thing.
Right.
So that's where it adds up, and I didn't realize that. I think it's like you want olives, well that's $1. Mm-hmm. You want some green peppers, that's another $1. And it was astonishing to me. Mm-hmm. It was delicious, by the way.
Was it worth it?
It was really good. As a matter of fact, I was quite surprised at how good it was. I don't eat a lot of pizza, and this was one of the major deliveries. It's not next to each one.
No.
You know, it doesn't say olives, parentheses, $1. It just says olives. And, onions and green peppers and sausage and this and that. And I thought, well, I'll get a lot of stuff on there. I kind of like it. Built myself a real, very tasty, but too expensive. And if you just order the stuff that they have already pre-made.
The regular made.
Yeah. They're good. They're fine. Eat those. Don't get crazy with your pizza ordering. That's all I'm telling you. Okay.
It's pizza. Of course it's good.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan.
Bill Allred says pizza is good.
Well, I'm not a big fan of pizza, but I really liked this one, so maybe I got my money's worth. I don't know.
Well, we order pizza from this place where you get little individuals. They're just like little 8-inch. And everybody loves it because then you don't have to argue about what kind of pizza are we going to order. Well, I want this. Well, everyone just gets their own little personal one that they have whatever they want on.
One? See, if it was my family, my son would be having 4 of those individual ones. Yeah.
We found this little local place that just opened. I think it's called Victor's. But all of their pizzas are Pulp Fiction named.
Huh.
What's on the Marcellus Wallace? What's on the?
What's on the Gimp pizza?
And they're all really good. They're all really good pizzas, and like I said, a local place. And
I'm going to have the Django Unchained. Oh no, it's Pulp Fiction only.
Well, my cautionary tale will be told tomorrow.
You're going to do something you shouldn't do?
No, I did it. I
did
did it yesterday.
Oh,
I'm going to show you what not to do.
Oh, I just went to their website. They do have the Marcellus Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
What's on it?
It's pepperoni, ham, mushroom, bell pepper. Because we have to do a bunch of stuff after. I had that open. Now I have it.
It's the one labeled Thursday promo.
Yes, I have it.
Okay.
We are nearly done with the week, so join us for our final show before our vacation break with Friday's Radio from Hell show.
Of course, vacations mean drinking, and we can't leave until we have another drink with Jimmy the Wine Guy, which just so happens to be at 7:45 in the morning, featuring Salt Lake's own Simplicity Cocktails.
Stick around, because Jimmy plans to answer your boozy and drinking questions at 8 a.m., so get your questions together and be ready to call in.
Then at 8:45, Mayor Wilson joins us to give us the latest Salt Lake County update.
It's the final show before we go on vacation, so you really don't want to miss Friday's Radio from Hell show.
On.
It wasn't there. So just add that in, will you, Katie? I read what's written. I'm an originalist. I stick to the script.
I'm Ron Burgundy. All right. I think we're good. All right, we got work to do now, so let's get to it. Fine job as always, Katie. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Boy, don't you know who I am?
It's not a gully washer.
Corey is not next. Nick Davis is next.